That's that bullshit!
No Chad, more Chadley.
Wolverines!
Wolverines! Hell yeah!
Again, with the freaking stupid thing. Greetings, everybody. It's Sunday. My dog is pissing me off today because she knows I have snacks. She knows I have snacks right here on the desk, and she just wants the damn snacks. I'm sorry about that, but you know, just gotta... Now we're good. How's everybody doing today? It's good to see all of you on the Lord's Scale Day, and it is also Memorial Day weekend. Not that I'm going to give anybody crap for doing it. Please don't say Happy Memorial Day to a veteran. That's why we have Veterans Day. Memorial Day are for those that we've lost. I hope everyone is having an enjoyable Memorial Day weekend and you're enjoying your barbecues and your tent pole summer movies, which we're going to talk about one specifically when it comes to brand loyalty and how brand loyalty can damage IPs. But it's not going to be just crapping on brand loyalty. It's going to be a bit of both. But to put it, Memorial Day into perspective, over 1,000 service members lost their lives. Lost their lives in the past year. Battle-related deaths, non-battle-related deaths, the whole 22 a day thing. So that's something to put into perspective. Plus, 1.3 million service members since the founding of the United States, to include the Revolutionary War, but it's a lot, right? So you have a lot to be thankful for on this Memorial Day weekend. But again, Veterans Day is for veterans. Memorial Day is for remembering those that we lost along the way. God knows I have my share, but we're just going to leave it at that. I'm sorry I couldn't get through everybody in the chat as the intro was rolling. Again, I was trying to force a dog away from my shit. Jim Largo, are there any brands left that haven't given a big FU to their followers in the last decade? I don't know. I guess some of that is a matter of perspective. Speaking of perspective, this isn't about, we're just going to crap on brand loyalists or, the tribalism, the glazers, as I guess is now the phrase. It's not about that. There actually are some positives to brand loyalty. Not just talking about toys. In general, there are some positives to brand loyalty. Why does it even exist in the first place? And a lot of what I want to do today is ask all of you, I'm not just going to sit here and just blah, blah, blah. But I want to ask all of you, what do you guys think? What's up, Robert? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Crystal clear. Who's firing in there? Good old aliens quote there. What are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language? That's such a good movie. A poem. I want you to fall back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bill Varos, what's up? Hoping you had a nice weekend. Thanking those that paid the ultimate price for this nation. Agreed. Yeah, the ma'am and I did our Memorial Day stuff this morning. Where is my jar of Steve Martin's? Huh? What?
It's science, people! Science!
I have no idea. The Titan says, let's go. Just days until frickin' DFW. 100%. Yeah, I can't wait. I don't have the frickin' hype horn in here. What the hell? I got this, though.
Oh,
Well, I do. I got that in there. Yeah, so we're just going to talk about brand loyalty a little bit. Just kind of have a nice chill Sunday as part of our Memorial Day weekend. And next week is the DFW G.I. Joe and action figure show. Looking forward to that. But yeah, that's all we're going to do is we're going to talk about it. Jim Largo says, their colors never run America. And that's why I wore the red, white, and blue morale patch on the old hat today, right? Yeah. Is it over or just starting? We're just starting. We've only been live for 10 minutes and 3 seconds. Yeah, it just started. 100%. 5 p.m. Eastern, early Sunday. 4 p.m. Eastern for channel members. Mother Slug says Wolverines. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. We're talking about nasty stuff. Hoth the Basher says, I'm skinny. Jeff Morris says, I am not skinny. I'm neither. It's all good. It's all well and good. Yeah. Gonzo, what is up, brother? Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. Robert's Infinite Realm says, what's up, party people? Chat holes unite. You know the drill. You know the deal. All of my pets, all of them, they're all being needy little fuckers today. I love them very much. But clean up in aisle 7. I don't even know. Like, what are you guys doing? Have you guys seen my old man? Come here. Oh, you guys have seen him, right? He's 18. He's just old and ornery. He's got that black cat energy going on. He fights the dogs. Murder Dog has scars on her nose from trying to pick a fight with the old man. Never fuck with an old man. Old men, they got that old man strumpf. They'll kick the shit right out of you. So, yeah, he's whining. She's sitting over here begging. I just want to hang out with you people and have a good old time and try to get through the chat within 45 minutes. Can we do that? Maybe we can do that. Jonathan Redmond, what's up? It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Jim Largo says Sergeant Savage in the opening montage, but we wouldn't notice, but we did. It's been there for years. It's been there for years. That's what I was saying last week on the Savage stream. I was like, Savage has been a huge part of my intro for the longest time. Like when that hook in the song hits and the fucking grizzly jumps from the toy commercial. Yeah, Savage has always been there. Savage, Action Force, because we're not just classified around these parts. Like we know a little more about G.I. Joe than just the current key jangling bullshit. Triple D, can I feed that dog? Would you like to try to feed my dog? Ask Jeffy if you should feed my dog. No snacks around here. Not people snacks. Marco, what's up? Says, I caught the live from Uruguay. Dude, that's awesome. Very, very cool. Yep. See? Jeffy says life is good. That's all that matters. All hail the mighty 118 scale, the Lord's scale. May the Lord's scale keep you and hold you. Amen. This cat is just fucking clawing at my leg. My pit bull says dogs can want kisses and snacks. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. My dogs love kisses and snacks and naps and belly rubs. Maybe somebody will bring punch and pie. I doubt it. 100% doubt it. Triple D. It's called Memorial Day for a reason. It's not a celebration. It's a somber occasion. Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. But not the day for that. Not the day for that. I will be bringing, speaking of Memorial Day, I will be bringing a few challenge coins from the MAM's first unit. And the reason why those challenge coins are important is because she had an NCO he was very instrumental in her developing as an infantry leader. When he was an E6, he was a squad leader in her platoon. Her very first, like once she was fully qualified as an infantry officer, he was one of her squad leaders. And he really helped her grow as not only an infantryman, but a leader and an officer in the infantry. Then he got promoted. He came over to the heavy weapons company with me. We were peers as E7s. And then we lost him. But he designed that deployment challenge coin. And I hand those out to certain people. Because that challenge coin in particular, speaking of Memorial Day, right? And service members that I and the MAM have served with who we've lost, you know, it is what it is. I got a couple more on the walls in here. And I am going to finally refilm this room, maybe at some point. You know, it is what it is. Wolverine, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Candyman 5000, hello, good evening. How's everyone doing today? Better now that you're here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. We're just we're scrolling through the chat so we can move on, because I have something that I want to ask all of you. 610, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Happy Memorial Day to you as well. Thanks even more so to those that left their lives in pursuit of freedom. 1.3 million. 1.3 million service members. Yep. So we could all live free and watch shitty people fucking complain about this nation on social media. Yeah. You guys know what that is, right? Anybody? Does anybody know? Does anybody know what that is? Here's an idea.
That's that bullshit.
Is that bullshit? But that's why we have freedom of speech, right? So it is what it is. Thank you, Candyman. I'm glad you like the hat. It's always the same couple of hats. They're just morale patches. I just change them out, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Triple D says brand loyalty is fine as long as the brand continues to produce quality consistently. Yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that in a second. Slade on Slade says first time sits in 4 hours. You haven't sat down for 4 hours? It's pretty awesome. You know, when you're getting it, you're getting it, right? Yeah, 100%. Mo says, I'm a brand loyalist to a certain computer chip manufacturer that I work at, Intel Inside Forever. Yeah, there's a huge Intel plant here in Rio Rancho, one of the suburbs of Albuquerque. Triple D says, I've used the Fat Max tape measure from Stanley from 30 years. for a second when I just like I sort of glance at comments on the side of the screen. Those of you who use StreamYard, you know that they're all over there on the side. I thought you were talking about Max, Maximilian Tucker. Whatever. Oh, was she a great big fat person? But whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about it. I guess Chad don't like the cornbread either. That's another good Aliens quote. It don't matter when it's Arturian. Yeah. Jim Largo says Valaverse value for price inspires brand loyalty, but more variety wouldn't hurt. There you go. That's fair. Stupid Lieutenant Gorman. How many drops is this for you, Lieutenant? Yes, we are in the final countdown to DFW. Less than 1 week and counting. Jeffy and I will be on the road on Thursday morning. We will get there Thursday afternoon. We will hang out, all that good shit. The Hidden says it's 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here in the West. That's true because it's 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Actually, it's 3:17 p.m. Mountain Standard Time where I live. I love the old lady chain smoker voice. Talk amongst yourselves. It is what it is, right? 49er Brian wants everyone to know he is pleasantly plump. We got to move on here. We got to get it going. Chad, are you doing a DFW stream or just a wrap up after? No, I'm going to do a stream on Sunday from DFW somewhere, right? I'm just going to do it guerrilla style with the iPad like I did at Toy Tuber Expo where there were like a million fucking cameos from people with a certain weirdo fucking lurking in the background. But that's the story for another time. Yeah, we're just going to do it. Just going to sit down. I'll have 2 lapel mics. So anybody who wants to sit down with me, they can toss one on and we can, chew the fat, shoot the shit. Yeah. Oh, you guys like my kitty cat? He is the last of the old guard. So we had him, we had his brother Oogie. For anybody who's been hanging out with me around the YouTubes for years, you guys should remember Oogie. He was black and white. Boogie is all black. And then it was my dog Zero. And we lost Zero and Oogie, but the black one's still going strong. Still going strong. He got that black cat energy. He's not a murder cat. He just doesn't put up with any shit. Wait, Chad has a cat? I have 2 cats. No, I have 1 cat. My daughter has a cat. We have 2 cats, 2 dogs, and a whole herd of deer. The ma'am and I actually sat outside in the very, very front lawn outside of my whatever you want to call it. And we were actually hand feeding carrots to the deer the other day. 100%. Bjorn, what's up, Bjorn? It's good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. I want to see what Valaverse is doing with the World War II stuff. You will. Promise you that. That's going to happen. Leslie, good to see you, Master fellow Master Sergeant. Well, you're like a legit Master Sergeant. I just got promoted when I retired. Action Joe Figs, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Bjorn says I might actually get some 112 scale stuff. I take it that's based on this. Yeah. You guys will be pleasantly surprised. I can guarantee that. Super Alleluia says, just finished watching a video over an hour long of someone exposing bricks and minifigs as a scam company for Lego. Seems like every hobby is infected by garbage now. See, that's that bullshit. We got to keep bullshit out of these hobbies. Yeah, imagine so. Yeah. Okay, we're trucking. We're moving on. Super also says we live in a crazy era for sure. We do, right? Everybody's got to make everything shitty, which sucks. Codename Hunter, been on eBay all week, enjoying the hunt again. Sergeant Savage is legit. Fuck yeah. I love it. I think the more people understand Sergeant Savage, the more they don't see it as a negative, right? As the companion line, etc., etc. Would a never go full classified challenge coin be in poor taste? No, it would not. I will be wearing that shirt at DFW. I heard somebody was wearing it at Joe Fest. Kudos to you. I believe Gonzo wore his to Comic-Con last year. I wore mine. Sure did. And for anybody who's coming to the swap, I've already got a few customs set aside that I'm going to be raffling off, giving away. So it'll be fun. Just trying to cruise through here. If I said that's that bullshit, you wouldn't see it for 20 minutes. So I'll refrain. Well, you said it 7 minutes ago, and I just saw it. Actually, Joe Figs, we'll be looking forward to those "That's That Bullshit" stickers next weekend. You got it, man. I will have some 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, try to keep your negativity about Hasbro to a minimum because we have a representative from Hasbro headquarters with us here today.
Nerd! Nerd!
Fucking nerd. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, we're definitely going to be giving out some of those stickers. Oh Dark 30 Thursday. Can't wait. Dude, it's only like an 8-9 hour drive. We'll leave it like, 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. It'll be fine. Super says true people will lose their jobs because of scummy company practices. Yeah, there's been a lot of that. Mother Slug, you doing any special live stream from DFW? Yeah, absolutely. I already covered that, but yeah, I will. Can I be the weirdo in the background? Do you want the usual Chad fucked up answer, or do you just want like a close-ended kind of answer? Because the usual fucked up Chad answer would be only if you wear a wig and lipstick, and the close-ended answer would just be yes. So either way, yeah, I think you're good. Action Joe Figs, we will see you Friday night at DFW. That'll be awesome. Jeffy says Saturday, I'll try to go live at the swap meet. We could do that. We could go live from the swap if you wanna. Dreadnock's here and says, hit that like button, you sons of bitches. You better fucking hit it.
You need to shut the up. That's what I do if I had no army. I would up. Shut the
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jeffy's got a channel for sure. Jeffy's channel is always linked on the Helldivers gaming streams, 100%. And anytime he's just on here, hanging out, shooting the shit. Jesse, what's up, man? Good to see you. Busy day, but stopping in to say happy Memorial Day. Thank you for your service from a grateful patriot. Thank you for being a fucking patriot. We are the rare ones these days, apparently. All of us who love our nation. They like to call us nationalists. There's nothing wrong with nationalism. Aggressive expansionism is a different story. Loving your country, nothing wrong with that. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Steven says, just wanted to say I love your live streams. Oh, thanks. And topics you tackle, glad to be able to contribute. Jaundice. Oh, yeah, man. Jaundice Mr. Clean will live in infamy forever thanks to you. I am a forever fan, and my condolences. Dude, thank you so much. I really, truly appreciate that. Keys Collect says, what's up, nerds? I hope you make it too. Absolutely. You know what this looks like? If you see it, come say hi. Again, don't run up on me. Nobody run up on me. Action Joe Figs, I picked up a legit Sergeant Savage figure to add to my 12-inch Sergeant Savage. Dude, awesome. Very, very cool. Mother Slug, the real problem with life today is everyone has an opinion and have no problem sharing it on the internet. I don't think it's that people have an opinion. I think that's people don't have, like, one, civility is just kind of absent. Two, people don't understand what consequences look like anymore. Three, you get all these fucking wackos. They don't have a problem acting like spoiled 3-year-olds in public. Come on. If you want it, come get it. She just sits. She knows the camera's on because as soon as the camera's off, she's all in my fucking face. It's Odie. Bjorn says it's only a 3-hour drive. Cool. If you're coming to DFW, come hang out. Chad, what's your favorite road trip soundtrack? It's not music. It's YouTube. Generally, I will put on the Jay and Rob Toy Show, which is obviously Jay Bartlett, Rob McCallum. I will put that on and I'll just let it play. Yeah, that's generally what I do. It used to always be Jeff Hicks. Come on. World-class bullshitters. It used to, I would just put on their live streams and just let them play and play and play and play. But lately it's been Jan Rob Toy Show. Mm-hmm. Chad loves ABBA. Fake news. Those are lies. 100%. Yeah. My two favorite Joe guys are you and Destro Spirit Animal. You guys help me get through the week. I appreciate that. I like Mark. I've never watched his channel. The only time I ever watched Mark's shit was when I had him on the channel. What with Ryan or Bobby or when I had him on the channel and we talked about the Diaper Island shit. That was the only time. Yeah, if it's classified stuff, I'm sorry, I don't care. I just don't give a shit. But there were a couple of Joe-centric YouTube channels that I went and checked out. I did some research for this week's topic, which we need to get to, by the way. I did some research for this week's topic, and I went and looked at a bunch of Joe-centric channels because, again, as I've always said, I don't watch very many toy YouTube channels or toy tubers, whatever, at all. I can't. I can't do the echo chamber. I can't do the brand loyalty stuff. I can't do people that just kind of hitch their shit to just one line. And I don't even mean intellectual property. I mean one line. So when we talk about Joe channels, there's a lot of classified channels. Classified, when we look at the 60 plus year history of G.I. Joe, you're talking like that, a fucking drop in the bucket. And you hitch everything that is your brand. Get back. Move. Sorry. You hitch everything that is your brand to classified and classified only. And, you spend all this time like kissing that brass ring of Lenny's and taking Emily to the fucking Golden Corral or, some kind of, buffet. I'm feeding my dog little dried liver snacks. They are what's called high value rewards, and she's all about them. Anyway, that's just kind of what I was thinking about. Darth Gutierrez, what is up, my friend? It's good to see you. Thank you for always being based as fuck. I love you, dude. Yep, 100%. Action Joe Figs. I think I'm going to take that's that bullshit sticker, tape it to a button, and wear it at a faculty meeting next school year. How about I give you 2 and you can just stick one to a button? Like it would go great on one of these. Just saying, not saying. No. Raymond Sheffield says apologies for being tardy. Punch and pie for all. Thank you very much, Raymond. I'm glad you're here. It's always good to see you. Always good to see you. Gun Bunny Customs, what's up, man? Excited for DFW this Friday. Fucking A, right? I'm so excited for it. Mm-hmm. Mike Joseph, there used to be physical consequences to mouthing off to someone in public. Too many keyboard tough guys nowadays. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Do we as adults, right, as well-rounded, mature, civilized adults, do we need to go around fucking swinging at people that we disagree with? No, absolutely not. That fucking one, That's like junior high school shit. Like you should have got that stuff out of your system back in, middle school, junior high, high school, whatever. Like back in the day, you should have got that shit out of the system. Two, I mean, you guys know where I'm standing, right? There's a pretty big chance I'm not gonna get engaged in the fisticuffs with you. I'm just gonna perforate you a couple times, and we'll just call it stand your ground, and it'll be great. Then everybody will talk about it on YouTube for the next 6 months. Packers, good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you. This is also fake news. I do not listen to Britney bitch at all. Jim Largo, social media problems, sarcastic comments don't translate. No. No, you can never infer intent or tone or anything like that through black and white, zeros and ones, all this shit on the screen. You can never infer tone. So people assume. Mm-hmm. Action Joe Figs, my channel is primarily about the original movable fighting man. Everybody go check out Action Joe Figs if you want to get down on some rad 1/6 scale OG G.I. Joe. Black Spearhead, what's up, man? From a currently serving member, happy Memorial Day to our southern neighbors. Thank you very much, my friend. Greatly appreciate you. Mother Slug, I stopped watching certain streamers for that reason. Retelling the same story gets old fast. I hope I don't do that. I hope I don't. Hey, let me tell you guys this cool story. It was like, you said that shit like 40 times already. There ain't nobody got time for that. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the chat, Mother Slug. I made years ago, back in the 90s, Quado Lives stickers, as in like, Quaid, start the reactor, like that Quado. Yeah. Mike Joseph, simple disagreement, no, but if someone crosses a line, that's another story. Yeah. But again, something that we stress in these parts of toy tubing, being offended is a choice. Totally a choice. Yeah. I tend to not get offended by shit. Plus, I'm Italian. Like, what the fuck do we care? You never saw an Italian sue Nintendo, right? No, nobody went nuts over an Italian plumber mascot for Nintendo the way that people went nuts about Uncle Ben's rice and fucking Land O'Lakes margarine and shit. We don't give a hell at all. Just trying to get through the chat. Dreadnought says, in all seriousness, Chad is a huge Jared Leto fan, and he exclusively listens to 30 seconds from, is it 30 seconds to Mars? I don't. Sorry for exposing your secret. I don't know if I've ever listened to that band. I'm sure I probably have at some point, but yeah, I don't know. Bear 11 Charlie, my favorite mortar man. It's good to see you, brother. I hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day and remembering your friends and comrades like I am today. The Hidden. Yo, Joe, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Do you know why there is confusion between Falcon and Duke about whether or not they are a blood-related family? No, because they are. They're half brothers. I don't. Where's the confusion? Huh? Where'd the confusion come from? Stuart Jardine. What's up, man? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Thank you very much. And Tristan wants to remind everybody that we will see Richter at the party, and then you have to throw his arms. Yeah. Little total recall there for you. See? I know what you guys are freaking. See, I know what you're putting down. I'm picking it up. That fucking Medusa from the original Clash of the Titans. Thank God we had Ray Harryhausen. That Medusa is so good. That whole movie is fucking awesome. Zaymont Rogue says, nah, you don't tell the same stories over and over, but there's nothing left but bone. Some of those horses, brother. Are we beating dead horses? You gotta be a little more specific. Drew G, good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're aware, but Drew G is here. Drew G's in the house, people.
Community, and community.
Now it's a community. We can begin. Sorry. Toys of Gotham, also known as Hal Jordan, is here, ladies and gentlemen. It says, and just in case no one has said it yet, 49er Brian sucks. I need to give you back your wrench. Please remind me. Denna Geek. I listened to this wacky band called the 12 Steppers because I'm a hipster. I don't know what that band is. I don't know a band called the 12 Steppers. Gin Rummy, what's up? A certain demographic of people are easily the most offended people on others' behalf. Yeah. Also pour a drink for our fallen brothers and sisters. I definitely did. I agree to that. 100%. Cruising through. You pimpin' channels, please throw so my way. English, please. Rephrase that. Say again, all after you. Say again. Suka's here. I smell stinky Canadian suddenly. What's up, Suka? I love you, dude. I miss you. Drew G, fucking throwing it out there. I trade you a coin. I'll trade you a coin. Wait, Leslie, what are you doing? Why are you typing in Ebonics? What the fuck? Teague, what's up? Glad to catch a live, Chad. I'm glad you did too. Memorial Day over here in 2ID land. Nice, man. Hope all our vets have a meaningful one. Agreed. Absolutely. And thank you for being here. Oh, Shockwave says, oh, hi. Oh, hi, Shockwave. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Jeffy says, don't give him his wrench back. I don't know. Zaymot Rugg, what's up, brother? I want to thank you for your service. I appreciate that. That's for Veterans Day, not Memorial Day, but it's all good. Also wanted to remind everyone that while we may not agree on some things, we must honor those who gave everything so we may have anything. 100%. 100 frickin' percent. The Hidden. Some toys list Duke and Falcon as non-family related Joes. It seems like a strange thing. I guess we're not talking about file cards, right? You're talking about classified. Why would you put on a file card, Duke and Falcon are not related? I don't know. That just seems weird. I mean, they are. They're half brothers. That's it. Period. Done. Zartan is a paranoid schizophrenic. It was out there. It's there. It's still fucking there. It's still a thing. Destro's mouth doesn't move. Lifeline is not a pacifist. The hiss is not a fucking tank. And that is not hair on Zartan. It's a hood. Duke and Falcon are half brothers. Moving on. I love you all. Largo, I saw your comment. I'm not gonna. Yeah, the same people that have been coming after my YouTube have been coming after my band, which is fucking stupid. Hoss the Basher. Oh shit! I thought this was Memorex. No, sir. It's live. You are live with me. Super hallelujah with a $10 super chat. Wow, thank you, my dude. A weekend to honor those we've lost. 100%. That's what our long weekend is for. The 1.3 million service members that we've lost in the creation and defense of the greatest nation in the history of the fucking planet. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I hope you all enjoy your freedoms. And this is for all of you.
Wolverines!
Wolverines! Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, Wolverines. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you more so for the message. I appreciate you very much. And Dreadnought K6 just wants everyone to know that Hal Jordan is gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, we're just here to have some fun, kids. 13th Prince, Replay Squad reporting in early. Replay Squad is always loved and appreciated. Thank you very much. Suka Suka, my good friend. Chad, how many cases of the Ninja Turtle Joe crossover shit did you buy last night? Your fans want to know. None. However, this is kind of a good thing to discuss. Not necessarily along the topic of, brand loyalty, but how pissed are some people going to be if those vehicles are fucking cheaper, but they'll fit the figures, right? If you know what I'm talking about. Like, let's say those Ninja Turtle Joe crossover vehicles will fit classified figures, but they're like half to 2/3 the price. How fucked up is that? Pretty fucked up. So I don't know. We'll see. I have no interest. None whatsoever. I think there's way better things that G.I. Joe could be putting their efforts into. Toward the end of the stream, we're going to get into another one that was recently announced and read some of the comments because holy shit, those comments are retarded. Jin Rummy, to me, Sunbow is not canon. Agreed. It's not canon to me either, but it's also in the comics that they're related. So, yeah. That's, yeah. That is Hama lore. Dale Santerford, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. I don't know, man. I got a His toy that calls it a tank right on the packaging. Yeah, that's because it's groupthink. When did they start calling it a tank? We don't need to get into that argument again, right? Thoughts to Memorial Day, thoughts to my grandfathers. Absolutely, man. So appreciate your grandfather's service. Grandfather's service, plural. Yeah, absolutely. Moving through. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get there. Toys of Gotham, aka Hal Jordan. Man, I hate that I want the Ninja Turtle, Joe, Shredder, and Krang. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man. If you like it and it speaks to you, fucking get it. Who cares? That's that bullshit. None of us need validation in the stuff that we like. Nobody. Unless you're weak-willed. Right? Those are the people that you see fucking just begging for other people's acceptance. Like, I need you to accept the stuff that I like. Oh, otherwise I'm stupid for liking it. Fuck that. Just like what you like. Who cares? East Coast Cody. Wasn't there a recent study that says 90% of schizos smoke cigarettes? It stands to reason Zartan smokes then? Benson and Hedges? Virginia Slims. He probably smokes those Virginia Slim 100s that look like twigs. They're fucking super skinny and gay as shit. Anyway, hell yeah, Wolverines. Zaymont Rogue, channel member for 24 months, uses his Chat trademark. This fucking face 2024 and says, I don't wait to thank service. Love you, bro. Love you too. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. 100%. Action Joe Figs. I wonder if we can get current C. Thomas Howell to repeat Wolverines. If I ever saw C. Thomas Howell anywhere at a con or whatever, that would be the one thing that I would get him to say. Wolverines. I would get him to do it. 100%. I'm going to get, I'm sorry, sometimes things escape me in the moment, but I'm going to get the voice actor for Flint at DFW to do the first comes Hawk, then Duke, then me, then you. I'm going to get him to do that to me at DFW. I'll record it. I don't know. I'll use it as a stinger or something, whatever. It'll be cool. Would Memorial Day be considered an example of memento mori? Yep. Hence that. Yeah. Memento mori. And the funny thing is, 6:8, right? Bible quote. Who shall I send? Here am I, send me. Yeah. Exactly. East Coast Cody, Playmats and Toddy Mac can make affordable vehicles. Big Daddy Hasbro, not so much. Not just affordable vehicles. They won't even make fucking play sets. Mattel's over here with Masters of the Universe coming back from the ashes like the Phoenix. And they're like, oh, what do you want? Castle Grayskull? You want a new Eternia? Fucking Snake Mountain? What do you want? Like, boom, 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 boom. And Hasbro's like, the most we can give you is maybe a hallway. There's a difference between can't and won't. Always a difference. 100%. Is there positives to brand loyalty? Let's get into that. I want to ask all of you, and I'm probably just going to fucking scroll to the bottom of the chat. Everybody's just kind of, we're all just flapping our fucking gums anyway. So, Russell, what's up, man? Good to see you. Sup, Chad? What have I missed? Today, not much. We're all just fucking jaw-jacking. No, it wouldn't be Beachhead and then me. We would bypass Beachhead because he'd be talking to me. Anyway, yeah, not much, Russell. Just fucking chilling, man. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. So let me ask all of you. Just think about it outside the box. This isn't a stream to just bash on brand loyalty. Where are there any examples where brand loyalty? Oh, wait. Fucking wrong slide. Thank you. Where brand loyalty is good. Are there any? Can any of you think of any examples where brand loyalty is a positive? Think about your everyday life. We're not just talking about dollies. Like we will talk about dollies. We're going to tie it all together, right? Threads, right? We're building themes. My Zombie Finger says, I missed a birthday party for this. Thanks. Thanks. We're going to say thanks. Yeah. Bjorn says, I can't think of any aspects where brand loyalty would be good. Okay. Let's see, like this is kind of where I'm going. 49er Brian says, I'm loyal to Oakley's because I look like shit in Ray-Bans. Kind of getting there, right? I'm loyal to Sam's Club toilet paper. I don't. See, Jim Largo says supporting mom and pop local shops is a good example of brand loyalty. I always talk about mom and pop brick and mortar stores. All right. If we want to keep collecting healthy and keep these hobbies going, it's not your Walmarts and your Targets, right? It's your mom and your pop stores that get you little figures and the individual bags, and they're 100% complete with their accessories for $14, and you can find them easily and they're readily available, and you can walk in that same store and you can get volumes of your Energon books. The people who are passionate about stuff. So yeah, that's kind of a good example of brand loyalty. Suka says, I'm loyal to Bwando because they got shit. That's it. Somebody fucking time. Oh, you can't. He's a wrench. Never mind. I like this right here. Yes, all loyalty should be earned. Agreed. But think about it like this. How many of you have those comic stores, those mom and pop collectible stores where they're either going to have what you want, you have the relationship with them, they've earned your loyalty, where you can go in there and say, hey, I'm looking for this. And they're like, we'll find it. If we don't have it in the store, we will get it and we'll call you on the phone when it comes in. Shit like that. What about everyday stuff? How many of you always use the same fucking brand of soap because it doesn't break your skin out? Shit like that. Like brand loyalty, the point that I'm trying to get at is brand loyalty, it always gets bandied about as it's a negative. It's just a negative. But I don't agree with that. I really don't. I think that just like the misuse of the word community, there are times where brand loyalty can be misused and abused, but I don't think that's always the case. It just is what it is. And I kind of want to get us all sort of thinking about it before we just start bashing on brand loyalty. Bands go both ways. What bands? Are we talking about bands? Can I ban Baldy for being an Eagles fan? No, you can't. Play nice. Stop it. Mother Slug says loyalty comes and goes. It's just a word. Yeah, agreed. I'm kind of feeling this. Codename Hunter says I'm loyal to people who earned it, not mega corporations. Sometimes people that earn your loyalty turn out to not have deserved your loyalty, if you know what I'm getting at. A few people showed me their fucking true colors in like the past 2 months, but it is what it is. Sorry, I'm just trying to get through. Dreadnought says it can be negative if you're blindly loyal. And that's where I'm going with that. There's nothing wrong with being loyal to a brand and things like that. Think about Xerox, Kleenex. The reason that Xerox, Kleenex, Coke, certain other brands become like the de facto name of a photocopier, tissues, soft drinks, Nintendo. Remember, for a while it was like, oh, I'm going to play Nintendo. Just means you're going to play video games, but everybody called it Nintendo back in like 85, 86 when the NES came out, because they were the highest quality, the most reliable brands of that sort of object or thing. You know, how many people say, hey, you want a Coke? And then they give you like a fucking Sprite. It's like, well, that's not a Coke, because Coke becomes synonymous with soft drink. Xerox becomes synonymous with copiers, you know, fax machines, whatever, even though most of the time they're not even a fucking Xerox, etc., etc. That's kind of the stuff that I'm getting at here. Are we having a band battle? Don't you guys be fucking around in here. Stop it. All of you stop it. Yeah. See, I like this right here. 49er Brian says, my local mom and pop shop found me my flag and terror drum. Is Target going to do that? I mean, not only they can't, but the point is that mom and pop shop going to earn your loyalty as a customer? Are you going to be loyal to their brand being their store, their customer service, things like that? Because brand is not just name brand. It's everything about that YouTube channel, that Instagram page, that toy company, the mom and pop store, et cetera, right? I only wear like a certain brand of jeans because I like the quality of the jeans. I like the way they fit me, et cetera, et cetera. I'm only going to wear those jeans. That's kind of where I'm going with that. Everybody hears brand loyalty and they're like, fucking Hasbros and burr, and the whatever gang bullshit. You know, everybody thinks exactly to that. Or how about PlayStation, Xbox? You know, loyal to a brand just seems kind of weird. East Coast Cody. Oh, speaking of Xbox, when I first got Xbox One, my new console downloaded like 50 games I had on my old account. PS4 day one, I had no games, nothing carried over. There you go. So in your situation, East Coast Cody, is that going to make you more loyal to Xbox, at least at the time, right? Stuff like that. Here you go. This I cannot stress enough as a lifelong. Yeah, like everybody knows my spiel, my pitch, right? G.I. Joe fucking shaped my whole life, blah, 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 blah. I love G.I. Joe. I hate Hasbro. Yup. That's it right there. So are you loyal to Joe? Obviously, you're not loyal to Hasbro by the second part of that statement. But the thing is, Hasbro owns Joe. Right? So I love G.I. Joe. I don't like Super 7 either. It's kind of one of those things, right? And this is sort of where I was going long term with this discussion, right? It's like plunging fire, right? We got to hit the topic into the dead spaces, so to speak. Dreadnought also says Chad realized pussies come in all sizes recently. Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. I sure did. 49er Brian says Toyota Q-tips. Q-tips for sure, right? Everybody calls. What are those fucking things even called? Cotton swabs, right? Cotton swabs. Everybody calls them fucking Q-tips. I don't know about Toyota, even though I own 2 of them. This is kind of one of those things. Russell says, is that why Lenny left Hasbro and G.I. Joe? Because he was loyal to the brand and saw where Hasbro was going as a corporation? No, Lenny was loyal to his job. Look, make no mistakes about this. Like, Lenny was not G.I. Joe. He was not the fucking brand. He didn't shape the brand. The bosses shape everything that goes on. He could have wanted to do X, Y, and Z, and they told him to do A, B, and C. Regardless, at the end of the day, like, you're a designer on a line. You're not the fucking face of the line. The only reason that Lenny and Emily and Lil Tony became the faces of the line is because of that bullshit fucking QVC stuff that they would do to sell toys, because they're not selling toys in toy stores. They're using brand loyalists, influencers, right? Social media people to be their brand loyalists. No. Lenny was loyal to his job. So I mean, that's all there is to it. Ask Charles Michael Hill how they treated him while they were doing all the Cold Slither shit. That'll give you an idea. Spoiler alert, not very good. So and then we get this. I'm loyal to my bed that I will sleep in every night. I don't really know how much that pushes the conversation. Yeah, there you go. Right. Band-Aid is a brand of adhesive bandages. Yeah. And even if you get the fucking generic Kroger brand or whatever, you still call it a fucking Band-Aid. And that's examples of why brand loyalty can be good. Things like that. Like a brand like Band-Aid, a brand like Q-Tip, a brand like Xerox, they extend their influence out beyond just their products. Kleenex, to the point where it takes over everything that is that item, that product, right? Give me a Band-Aid, give me a Q-Tip, give me a Kleenex. See what I'm saying? So there are aspects where brand loyalty can be a good thing. It's not all super negative. Yeah. Consistency and quality and price, 100%. Yeah. Dreadnought says Hasbro could die and G.I. Joe would live on. Someone else would buy the IP. Agreed. I absolutely agree. Which is why we should gatekeep. I have said time and time again, I 100% believe in gatekeeping. I also believe in shaming. I think those things are powerful tools. I was brought up in a military that wasn't all fucking, touchy-feely, oh, let's talk about your fucking feelings and what are your thoughts on that, private? I was brought up in a military where you got an Article 15, that shit was plastered everywhere in common areas so everybody could fucking shame you for it so you wouldn't do it again. I definitely believe in shaming and gatekeeping. 100% believe in gatekeeping. There we go. People need to gatekeep more. Agreed. And we're going to get into some of the negatives of where brand loyalty and tribalism can hurt things. Really going to lean on Star Wars because as of this weekend, that's very pertinent. It's all applicable, but Star Wars is like the current low-hanging fruit that we're going to smack around a little bit. East Coast Cody says, for me, brand loyalty is earned through customer service and consistency. Yep. Absolutely agree. But that's where things like Q-Tip took over the entire definition of, cotton swabs, because Q-Tips were about quality. Tough skins. I don't understand. Tough skin? What are you talking about? Brands have IPs. Yeah. But sometimes name brands can take over the entire thing. East Coast Cody says, I'm a Reebok guy. I've had better experiences with them over Nike as far as lasting longer. That's cool. Can't go wrong with that. Chad's Daisy Duke pants. I'm going to stop reading your shit in a minute. I don't fucking know why, but I'm going to. Yeah, and then like that. I won't buy Samsung TVs anymore. Had too many crap out of me. Do you guys remember Zenith? Remember when Zenith was like the last American television brand? And Zenith, their quality was great, but what was Zenith's downfall? The price. Zenith made great shit. Their price was just too expensive because it was still made in America, and we got fucking unions, and unions overcharge for everything. Steven says Genesis does what Nintendo don't. They still didn't win that 16-bit war, though. They didn't. They came close for a while, but they didn't do it. Robert's Infinite Realms. I would say I was loyal to Hasbro in the 80s. Today, they are not the same company. There you go. Absolutely agree. I love IPs that Hasbro owns or has acquired, sucked up like Disney did. But I don't have to love Hasbro at all. The price gouging, the piss poor distribution. I don't need to like that whatsoever. I can, if you think about it like this, I can also be absolutely loyal to G.I. Joe, but still like GoBots or still like Transformers. I can like a line like Matt LaCroix's Strike Force Alpha. I can like Strike Force Alpha and still be loyal to G.I. Joe. That doesn't mean that you have to only go after one thing. Another low-hanging fruit example, Classified and Valaverse. What's to say you can't like both? But how many of these fucking Hasbro brand loyalists, the Hasbros, as Michael French coined, how many of these people love to fucking say Valaverse is a ripoff brand? I mean, if you want to get down to brass tacks, isn't Classified a ripoff line of every other G.I. Joe line that came before? Kinda. A little bit. People don't like to hear that, but anything original they try to do is just a ripoff of something else with a different name. Looking at you, Wolf Spider, Beachhead version 3 ripoff. Just kind of is what it is. Dreadnought says, loyal to Joe and get pissed when Hasbro bastardized the brand. Yeah, I mean, if we look at it objectively, Hasbro has mistreated G.I. Joe for decades. That's not really anything new. What changes is their business model. Now you got a dude like Chris Cox, he comes from Microsoft. He doesn't care about toys. He wants to do Monopoly Go and make all this money from, mobile games and video games, because I haven't seen any video games. I see mobile games. Sure, because that's where the money is. Hasbro hasn't been like a really good toy company since the mid-aughts into the early teens, like 2006 to 2013, 14, arguably. They were fucking killing it. They were killing it with Star Wars, killing it with G.I. Joe. They were just knocking it out of the park left and right. And then, they just changed their business model. And again, that's kind of where this whole, right? What is the brand? What's your brand? Business model has a lot to do with your brand, which in turn affects customer loyalty to said brand. So they're kind of all intertwined, right? It's like a symbiotic relationship. There you go, James Lucas. Jacuzzi. That's another one, right? Jacuzzi is a brand of a hot tub. But how many people hear jacuzzi and they know it's a fucking hot tub? Yeah. Mother Slug, if you love G.I. Joe but hate Hasbro, well, that's a lie. Without Hasbro, Joe wouldn't exist. Hi, Callie. Hold on a second. Callie wants to say hi to everybody. People like when they see my dogs on stream. I've heard this numerous times. Oh, baby. Yeah, you like that? Okay, get off. Good girl. Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to share my puppy. I don't know why people really love seeing my dogs, but I hear it all the time. I'm so glad I get to see your dog. Blah, 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 blah. 49er Brian, there was a time when Hasbro of the old was better than the Hasbro of today. Absolutely. Yeah. Hasbro under Steven Hassenfeld, we're not even going all the way back to Merle. Let's just go Steven. Hasbro under Steven Hassenfeld fucking killed it. But there were times where they almost went out of business. There were several times where they almost went out of business. But, you know, they brought it back with Hungry Hungry Hippo, and then they hit it out of the park with G.I. Joe. But that was all thanks to like Bob Prupis, Kirk Bazigian, Steve DeGuano, guys who like really believed in bringing back G.I. Joe, right? Reagan was president. It was us against the fucking commies. Like, we were going to save the world from the Ruskies. Let's bring back G.I. Joe, right? Let's ride that wave of, look around on my fucking brand, on my brand. I'm loyal to my fucking brand because, you know, I like it. But yeah, back in the day with Steven Hassenfeld, Hasbro was killing it. They were all about games and toys and this and that and good intellectual properties. They believed in, you know, the three-prong approach of comics, toys, media, like merchandising. They believed in all that stuff. And now they're just like, what can we make a quick buck off of and, you know, just fucking ruin it. So it's kind of one of those things. Zaymok. Okay, so I've been out of touch. Who turned on you? We need to take a road trip. Oh, I'm sure you can figure it out. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It is what it is. We're not here to talk about that stuff today, but I'm sure you can fucking put two and two together. Teague says, why do they think he was God's gift to Joe? You talking about Lenny? I don't know. I honestly don't know. There were arguably way more passionate people about there were arguably more people who were way more passionate about G.I. Joe who worked on G.I. Joe throughout the decades and more influential, 100%. Yeah. I would put many people up against Lenny Panzica when it comes to G.I. Joe. Plus, the 6-inch G.I. Joe was Bobby Vala's idea, right? I know people don't like to talk about that. That was all him. That was all him. It was his pitch when he worked for Daryl DePriest. Daryl DePriest was way more influential on G.I. Joe and fucking Star Wars, especially the vintage collection. But, you know, guys like Daryl and them, they don't get the credit they deserve. Mother Slug, in a way, you secretly love Hasbro because they make a product that you enjoy. No, see, I do not agree with that. I don't. 100%. Dreadnought says the DEI policies and ESG score forced upon Hasbro, which those are things, yeah, absolutely, are the real reason why we have all these issues. And it affects everything, not just toys. Larry Fink and guys like him are why DEI shit even exists. Yep. Because if you don't have a certain ESG score, then you don't get a good percentage on your fucking loans and your investment returns and all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. If you guys don't know how fucking ESG scores work with corporations, go look that shit up. You will be astonished. Yeah. Man of Action, that team is a bunch of assholes. Don't fall for their bullshit. You know, the corporate game is always going to be the corporate game. I want to kind of keep it around like brand loyalty, brand loyalists, things like that. How tribalism and brand loyalty can be good or bad. But yes, yeah, I don't see anything like fantastic that anybody who's worked on Joe in the past, what fucking year is it? In the past, I don't know, 8 years has done anything fucking fantastic. If you look at Hasbro and Joe and you look at Mattel and Masters of the Universe, just look at those two right there. In fact, I'm going to change this fucking slide because we're already off of good. We're already on to why is it a problem? Look at Hasbro and Joe. Look at Mattel and Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe died a very public, epic, quick death in 1987. It went from being on top of the world to being fucking dead. Nobody wanted it. Nobody could sell it. It was gone like that. A lot of people blame She-Ra because they don't want girls in their fucking boys fantasy line. I don't know about that. I think a lot of it was distribution, not having main hero characters. Like there's a lot of different reasons as to why Masters of the Universe failed, but it did fail, and it failed epically. But every time Masters has come back, 2000X, look at right now, because that Masters of the Universe movie is going to outperform Mandalorian and Grogu. You may think I'm fucking on crazy pills, but wait, Masters will outperform. It will fucking blow the doors off of Mandalorian and Grogu, which, by the way, is only doing 60% of what Solo did. Star Wars is done, and we're going to look at a couple aspects why brand loyalists and tribalists, influencers who, the free shit brigade, how they hurt Star Wars. Masters was done. Look at Masters now. Vehicles, mounts, play sets. They even put out a new fucking Eternia. Does anybody think Hasbro will put out another flag? No, because they tried at least 2 more times to do a new flag, and it keeps getting shot down. They could fucking do it. Tell me they couldn't HasLab a flag. Or, God forbid, a Defiant, right? If we want to tie it back into how it would relate to Masters of the Universe. Masters put out a new Eternia because the original Eternia, even if you can find one complete, it's so fragile. If you breathe on those tracks wrong, they're going to shatter. Same thing with the Defiant. It is like literally crumbling under its own weight. All of my tracks are warped because it's so fucking heavy. They could redo the Defiant. Would they? No, absolutely not. I will touch on this Man of Action. I met the dude once in person. He was nice. I mean, that's all I'm going to say. That's my personal IRL experience with the dude. He was nice. So, yeah, see, we got to gatekeep more. 100%. We got to gatekeep these hobbies. We got to gatekeep these intellectual properties, because then you get those fucking wackos with the septum rings and all that shit. And they're like, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. How about you just keep your fucking politics out of the book and we don't even worry about that? But if you say that, you're the enemy. Yeah, we've already been over that. So I'm going to scroll down toward the bottom of the chat. I have to ask, what is gatekeeping? Google it. It's basically like you're trying to safeguard whatever, right? Like okay. A good example of gatekeeping. Look at what Call of Duty has become, right? You got Nicki Minaj skins. You got fucking Beavis and Butthead and Ninja Turtles and Seth Rogen and all that shit. Now, go look at Call of Duty from like Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare or World at War, right? Like the grittier fucking Call of Duties. And look at what Call of Duty is today. The old school Call of Duty players, they're the ones that they wanted to keep it like real, gritty, grounded, what Call of Duty was always meant to be. That's kind of an example of gatekeeping. Yeah, a little bit. So anyway, moving on. Oh yeah, Casey, that's a good example. John Deere. Yeah, John Deere tractors, mowers, etc., etc. Yeah, that's a great example. Jedi Ben, Star Wars is dead. Disney killed it. Super 7 all the way, said nobody. Jim Largo says there's a distinction between G.I. Joe lines when it comes to brand loyalty. Adventure Team and Vintage Joe fans are always different from classified cronies. I agree. Same goes for, Real American Hero. Like, classified, it's just it's the new hotness. It's the thing that's out right now. And when we talk about, gatekeeping and brand loyalty and things like that, like, if you look at all these people who only got into Joe because Joe went 6-inch, and they get in there and they're like, Hooded Cobra Commander's fucking dumb. We don't need that. Because Emily fucking doesn't want it. Or the people who try to argue, that Snake Eyes is blind, not mute. Those kind of people, right? Yeah, that's why we never go full classified, and we gatekeep shit. Zaymont Rogue says brands are the intellectual properties. Are they, though? I don't really know about that. I think if you look at a Mattel brand DC figure, right? Look at, let's just say DC Collectibles. Look at a DC Collectibles Arkham figure and look at a McFarlane Arkham figure. Batman Arkham, that's kind of the IP, right? Mattel is the brand putting it out. DC Collectibles, McFarlane is the brand. They are wildly different. Wildly different. Look at the fucking DC Collectibles Mad Hatter. He's like fucking not even 3 inches tall. He has like fucking 2 points of articulation. And then look at something from McFarlane. Totally, vastly different. Zenith was my first personal TV. I fucking love Zeniths. Yeah. Was Magnavox American? I don't remember. You can ask Sergeant Major Google. Yeah. Teague says it's funny. Any fan group I visit, I see name like Retro Blasting and how the loyalists don't like him and says he is negative. You never hear them say he is a liar, though. That's something else to touch on. If you're passionate about a thing, right? We talk about fans. Well, fans and fandom, we're fanatics. We're fanatical about these things. We care about them. We're passionate. And I don't care if it's Joe, Transformers, Batman, Spider-Man, Marvel as an intellectual property as a whole, Xbox, Nintendo. Yeah, that's my fucking Soundwave Nintendo controller. What's up? I don't care what it is. If you're fanatical, also known as passionate about something, and you want it to be the best that it can be overall as an intellectual property, there is nothing wrong with saying these accessories are too fucking gummy. They come out of the package fucking bent. They come out warped and twisted. I don't like these shitty accessories. Companies need that kind of critical feedback. How are they going to know? 1, it sucks. 2, people don't like it. 3, we can improve upon it if they don't get that feedback, right? But part of where brand loyalty is a problem, part of what you're talking about, Teague, is that too many people say, oh, you're just too negative. Oh, you just shit on everything. Are there some examples of that? Yeah. And a lot of that boils down to personal preferences. I will give a quick example of that. I enjoyed the series finale of The Boys, season 5, episode 8. I enjoyed it. I was very concerned that they were going to pull a fucking Game of Thrones season 8 and just shit the bed and ruin the entire fucking series with how they failed to stick the landing. I enjoyed it. I did. I thought that there were some really good character arcs, some really heavy moments in there, and I thought it fit well. But as soon as I open YouTube, after it, I see all of these channels shitting on the series finale of The Boys. You know what I did? I didn't fucking watch them because I don't care. And that's the simplest thing that we can do. If you don't like what someone has to say or their thoughts, their values, beliefs, behaviors, and norms, don't fucking watch it. If you don't like the values, beliefs, behaviors, and norms of a company, when we talk about brand loyalty being a problem, vote with your wallet and don't buy their shit. But if you're passionate about an intellectual property, if you're passionate about like these little pieces of plastic, we're the stewards of these things. If you're passionate about it and you speak up about it, it doesn't mean that, oh, they're just fucking negative all the time. Oh, all they do is fucking shit on it. No, because they know that there was a time when these lines were better, when these toys were of higher quality. And they can do that. But one, they need honest feedback. Two, they need to understand that customers aren't going to put up with it. But when these companies know, when we talk about when is brand loyalty a problem, they know that they have brand loyalists. Obviously, the most glaring example is the Hasbros. I'm sure some of you remember Articulated Ninja did a video about a certain toy line, and he talked about the articulation and how the articulation could be better. And the fucking stands of that toy line went at him like the rabid fucking tribalists that they are. That's that bullshit. That's where brand loyalty is a fucking problem. Look, at the end of the day, if people don't like what Retro Blasting has to say, cool, don't watch him. That's all there is to it. I don't know how else to put that. I'm not a fucking stand for Retro Blasting. I haven't watched anything Retro Blasting in God knows how long. Because Michael took fucking pot shots at me and a couple of friends. And I didn't fucking like it. I said months ago that I'm done with the fucking turning the other cheek and the fake bullshit. Michael took pot shots at people. Several people. And I'm not fucking cool with that. Am I going to shit all over the dude? Nope. I'm just not going to watch his stuff anymore. That's how we can be grown up about stuff. Just fucking leave it alone. No, I can easily walk away from people and their brands, right? Oh, hey, there's a text message. Oh, it's Bobby Valla. Do you guys want to see what he's asking me? I'm not going to put it on the screen. Oh, cool. Not too sure. I'm actually live streaming right now as I'm replying to you. I will give this a closer look in a little bit. P.S. Love you, and I hate your face. There we go. Speaking of brands. Anyway, let's move on in the chat. Shockwave says, I can still like brands. Yeah, absolutely. Corporatism has screwed everybody out of innovation, but I can still like brands. I don't disagree with that. And yeah, that is the biggest problem. Risk taking is not really a thing that these corporations want to do anymore. I'm sure that there's a million experts, yes, I air quoted that would say, oh, well, it's because, production is so expensive these days and everyone's like risk averse because they would rather do a 20th version of Snake Eyes or do another John Wick sequel or do a Rambo prequel. Let's fucking dust off The Last Starfighter, which, by the way, I'm kind of excited for that. But the thing is that they just want to redo and redo and redo and reboot and requel and all that stuff. The Force Awakens was basically a shot for shot fucking soft reboot of A New Hope. Who doesn't know that? But when it came out, people were like, whoa, this is fucking awesome. It took a little while for that to kind of sink in. Yeah, corporations are risk averse, but that's why we have things like independent comic book companies. That's why we have independent production houses like, your Blumhouse, your A24, things like that. That's how you're going to get a new story like a John Wick, things like that. But of course, as soon as John Wick was a hit, it was like, oh, we need fucking 96 sequels and a spinoff and blah, 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 because we got to milk it. It's the same thing with independent toy creators. I would rather go out and support, like your Matt LaCroix's, your Bobby Vance's, your Strike Force Alpha, your Lone Wolf Toys, any of those lines. Give it a name, right? Independent toy companies, Ramen Toy, Valaverse. I would rather support them because they have the ability to do what corporations don't. Anyone who saw Ryan Ting on 3POA saw the examples that he gave of just the fucking layers of bureaucracy that you had to get through just to make a fucking dolly, just to get one action figure made. And of course, the suits, because all they do is they look at spreadsheets. They're like, no, we need another Spider-Man. It's like, no, there's a lot of characters that no. Spider-Man. You get fucking Spider-Man. It's the same with Joe, right? And even Super 7's doing it. Super 7, there are so many side characters, background characters, all that stuff in the comics, in the Sunbow animation, in the Deke. I said Deke, not Dick. In the Deke animation. Super 7 was doing those with Reaction with the 5 POA. So when they came out with Reaction plus the O-ring figures, there were a lot of people like, yes, now we're going to get like Snakelings, and we're going to get Raven, the female Night Raven pilot from one of the animated series episodes with Slipstream. We're going to get all these. We're going to get fucking Flag Deck Crews. We're going to get all these different Green Shirt Joes. Let's go. Like, let's get all those characters. What do they give you? Fucking Ninja Force Cobra Commander? Tiger Force Snake Eyes? Get fucked. And yeah, they kind of dropped the ball on that. Plus there's the price. Yeah. East Coast Cody says best G.I. Joe game. I didn't know are we still talking about games? This is a while ago. Unfortunately, Fortnite. Nah. I'd rather play some of the old fucking NES and Super NES Joe games, to be honest. And I will even one up that. The best G.I. Joe game is Ghost Recon Wildlands, because you can make your whole team look like Joe's. Ask me how I know. Zombie Finger says, I'm a Valverse diehard, but I still buy other brands. Yeah, I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you? Is this simply about Hasbro's versus Valahos? Is that what they're called? No, it's about any kind of brand loyalty, man. Like, I'm not even making it I thought they were called Vala Shills. Whatever. This isn't about Hasbro versus Valaverse. I've been mostly talking about Joe versus fucking Masters of the Universe. I'm a brand loyalist to GNR, even when it was Axel and Friends. Really? Man, I got out of fucking GNR right after You Could Be Mine, especially when they replaced Steve on drums. I mean, I know why, but the drummer, right? The rhythm section, Steve and Duff, they fucking made that band. Anyway, not getting off topic. Fucking. Okay, I'm scrolling through the chat because I'm just now seeing these. So we're going to scroll through. Tristan says, like I said, I love G.I. Joe. I hate what Hasbro has become. And that's something to stress. This isn't hey, let's fucking shit on Hasbro for 2 hours. It's not about that at all. It was never meant to be about that. But yeah, I love Joe. I love Transformers. I love a lot of the IPs that Hasbro kind of scooped up, especially in that Tonka Kenner or Kenner Tonka fucking Kellogg, that big deal that they got in 91 with Star Wars. They have a lot of awesome IPs, but look what the corporate decision-making process at Hasbro did to Mask. Gave it to the loyal subjects. The general consensus with the loyal subjects Mask stuff is what? Glaring quality control problems. And then let's bring that back around to what somebody was saying about, retro blasting and how people just say he's so negative. If you love Mask and you were so excited about new Mask toys to come out, you pay all that money for the shit from the loyal subjects, which let's be honest, that shit was a little pricey. Why should you not be bothered by the quality control issues with those fucking toys? That's like that fucking O-Ring Super 7 Wild Bill with 6 fingers. That made it through how many quality control checks? Because it made it through Super 7's quality control, and it made it through Hasbro's because Hasbro has to approve it. But there were so many people that said, I don't give a fuck. I don't care that that's AI. I don't care how many fingers he has, or the Televiper, or Flint. I don't keep the packaging. I just fucking rip it right out. I don't care. Okay, so if you'll accept anything, why even get in on the discussion? Like, if you're willing to just be a good little consumer and buy anything, right, because this brand said so, or this corporate decision put this fucking inferior product in your lap, especially when we talk about G.I. Joe. Now, granted, I'm talking about Super 7 now, not Hasbro, but a line that has always been known for its amazing packaging art. And people, I don't care. I don't care that it's AI. I don't care that Flint looks like a fucking weird, emaciated Ben Shapiro or fucking Televiper and Wild Bill have umpteen figures. It doesn't matter to me. But then they're going to turn around and shit on you because it matters to you. Like, if they don't care, then just shut the fuck up. That's all. It's just shut the fuck up. Action Joe Figs, I have a G.I. Joe coffin box that is signed by Don Levine. Fuck, that's awesome, dude. Don Levine, the father of G.I. Joe. That sucks. I don't want to say he got fucked over, but in a way he did, but in a way he fucked himself over too. Mother Saw, curious, why did G.I. Joe change from actual GI military to special soldiers? Who were they competing against to make that change? There's a lot of different reasons. So when we go back to the 1/6 scale G.I. Joe, like before Real American Hero, we're talking like late 60s, early 70s, Vietnam War. It wasn't very popular. So G.I. Joe pivoted from, America's Movable Fighting Man. They pivoted more to like Adventure Team, right? They were like doing special mission stuff. Adventure Team's fucking awesome. We're going to talk more about Adventure Team and things that Hasbro could do later on. When a Real American Hero was being pushed, right, bringing back G.I. Joe in that Star Wars scale, right, 3 3/4 inches, when that was being pushed to Stephen Hassenfeld, they decided to create that tagline, Daring, Highly Trained Special Mission Force, because yes, they are a military unit, but they're the elite of the elite, and they don't just fight in wars. They do special mission shit. So they kind of took the original Movable Fighting Man stuff and they took the Adventure Team stuff and they smashed it together, and that's how you got Joe as like specialty team kind of shit. There you go. Moving on. But hey, what do I know? Robert's Infinite Realm says Lenny had to study when he got his job on Classified. He only really retained Dreadnoks and Cobra Law, apparently. See, and that's kind of the thing, right? I used to always say to soldiers, do you want to be decent at building a house, or do you want to be really good at swinging a hammer? They are not the same thing, right? There are some people who are great at swinging hammers. And when I use that euphemism, I mean like I would have Joes that could run like a fucking 11-minute 2-mile all day, every day, but they can only do like 35 push-ups, or their weapons qualification scores are like not the greatest. Like, do you want to be a well-rounded soldier or do you want to just be a runner? And that kind of applies with working on these intellectual properties as well. Like, do you want to just be a fucking stand for the dreadnoughts? Because that's kind of what we got. I mean, do you want to just be all about the 87 animated movie characters that most people saw as Elseworlds and talked shit about for decades until Classified put it out? But again, brand loyalty, right? Brand loyalists only care when the brand cares. Because there are plenty of people who will even openly admit, like, yeah, I fucking hated Cobra Law, but Classified put them out. Got to catch them all. Now I'm going to buy them. Yeah, whatever. I don't know if you intentionally misspelled this. Let's make Snake Eyes. Let's make Snake Eyes a chick. Snake Eyes, kids.
What the fuck did I just hear?
Yeah, but you know, Don Moreno and all that stuff. And it just is what it is. Here we go. Hasbro headquarters says Hasbro supports the Mandalorian in the Star Wars franchise. That's because Hasbro does whatever Disney fucking tells them to do. Hasbro 375 and Tron. Yeah, we didn't need that. Didn't need that. Yeah, look, here's a good example of gatekeeping. You either gatekeep or you get Rings of Power. Look at Peter Jackson's Lord of the Ring trilogy. Look at Amazon's Rings of Power. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, Jeffy says gatekeeping is not a great thing. I completely disagree. Completely disagree. Here you go. 13th Prince. With the current amount of LARPers and tourists invading our hobbies, I don't mind gatekeeping. Exactly. Exactly. It's like, I mean, you could just look at all different sorts of examples. DC Comics, and you get these people with their fucking personal ideologies that come in. Next thing you know, fucking Tim Drake's gay. They did it with Marvel, and they do all this stuff. These are the tourists, right? They get a job on something. They're like, oh, I'm going to fuck this all up because I don't care. I didn't create this IP. I wasn't a steward of it. I didn't, foster it and take care of it. I just got a job, and now I'm going to fucking put all my weird septum ring ideologies into it and fucking destroy it. Nope, absolutely not. 100% not. You know that fucking Miss Hasbro, self-proclaimed pride warrior, who got in trouble for that a lot, by the way, would have loved a fucking Alphabet Mafia character in G.I. Joe. But because enough of us fucking gatekeep that intellectual property, fuck no, you would not get away with it. You would not get away with it. Toys of Gotham, a.k.a. Hal Jordan. Hal, I miss all your booby pictures, because we're all pigs around here. If gatekeeping was more abundant, Star Wars wouldn't be dead, and comic books and video games wouldn't be under attack by bull-ringed, blue-haired nutjobs. Isn't that what I just said? Look at that. Oh, yeah. It's like you're reading my mind, my dude. These, a huge Real American Hero classified crossover. What exactly are you talking about, Dreadnought? Classified, it just dug up the corpse of a Real American Hero and just made it Marvel Legends. I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but that's just my observation. Because if it didn't, it would be its own thing. Resolute was its own thing. Renegades was its own thing. Sigma 6 was its own thing. Classified was at first, right? Until all the fucking stands and the nostalgia baiters and all those people were like, no. Duke has to look exactly the way he looked in 1984 or I'm going to fucking riot. And he still doesn't because he's got Flint's fucking arms. Anyway, moving on. Raymond Sheffield says, over the years, Vans shoes have proven to be tough for my standards, so I do stand by them. Yeah, I'm a Vans loyalist. Everyone who knows me, whenever you see me at cons, what am I wearing? Fucking Spicoli checkerboard Vans. Because fuck yeah, Vans. But again, that's where brand loyalty can be a good thing, right? You trust the brand, you trust their products, you trust their quality, right? Some people swear by Nike, some people swear by Converse, some people swear by Vans, etc., etc. I've always been a Vans kid. Ever since Vision Streetwear went away, I used to love my Vision Streetwear. Dreadnought says, good clarification on brand versus IP. Thank you, my friend. I'm here for you. I'm here for all of you. John says, what are you still doing up, Tristan? Oh, leave him alone. You leave Brittany alone. I need to get that. I need to get that one. I'm moving on. Hoff the Basher says fanatical or a fan of something, same thing. Yeah, absolutely. Right. We can be fanatical. And that's that's kind of how we want it. Suka says people wanted the comic ending way too much. Yeah. Talking about The Boys, but that wasn't really possible. I don't want to give any spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it. They kind of hit the theme as I'm pointing to my head. They kind of hit the theme, but yeah, they did it in a different way. Especially when they finally got there, and I looked over at the ma'am and I was like, okay, they kind of got there for the way that they could. Yeah, they kind of got there. Man of Action says, it's The Boys. What were they expecting? I don't fucking know. Who cares, right? We wanted at some of Homelander going off like it was hinted at for 3 seasons. Look, speaking of, right, the tourists and all the people who invade our shit, The Boys got taken over by all the fucking Hollywood wacko leftists that just wanted to use Homelander as an allegory for Orange Man bad. Everybody fucking knows that. That's why they made Homelander the villain that he kind of morphed into. Jeffy says Vala folks did the same when Ninja said what was wrong with Valaverse. I vaguely remember that, yeah. Mm-hmm. But Vala himself took that constructive criticism and used it, right? Which he did. Suka says what happens at the end, The Boys, is exactly how the character was built in the show. Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm going to keep... Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. Kripke wanted to own Trump more than writing a good ending. Regardless, the point that I was making was that I liked it. I don't care who didn't like it. You know, I mean, it just is what it is. Toys of Gotham. Chad, tell Bobby we want dirty pirate hookers in the black. Stand by. Oh, and by the way, people in our chat are saying they want dirty pirate hookers in the black. Period. You're welcome. There you go. Anything else? Anything else I can do for you? No, just fucking around. Just trying to get a laugh out of people. We're just having a good time here. Scrolling. Minus the noir shock you're talking about when the Deep killed the fake Black Noir, still came down to Butcher and Huey. Ooh, that Butcher and Huey. Okay, we're not going to do a bunch of spoilers for that. I'm just sorry. I'm scrolling. Yeah, everybody's talking about The Boys. I'm sorry. I was just making an example related to how, you know, people don't like retro blasting and they like to fucking smack on retro blasting, but they'll still watch them. It's the same thing as when people say like, oh, I fucking hate when toy tubers talk about drama. But that's the shit that gets the views. And I hate to say that a lot of people chase views, but they do. There are a lot of channels out there. They don't look at their comments. They look at their algorithm. They go into their YouTube studios, and that's all they give a fuck about. Michael Zimmerman, why are we getting Laura? It's Laura, not Laura, in classified before Matt Tracker? Put a pin in that. We're going to come back around to that, and then we're going to read some of the fucking comments on that Instagram page, and you guys will you'll all have eye cancer and a bit of the tism when it's over because fuck. Yeah. We're talking about the dolphin. Okay, I'm just scrolling. Suka says, buttholes can't be bulletproof. Translucent proved that. If you know, you know. I'll tell you what, as soon as the series finale was over, I went back and restarted all of it. Season 1, episode 1. There's some poignant shit that they say, like Mother's Milk and Frenchie sitting in the van, and Mother's Milk is talking about how Frenchie's going to die alone. And I was like, oh, but he didn't. Man of Action says Cobra Law was shit. Everyone conveniently missed the Sunbow shit show that pretty much rewrote the whole concept. Well, I mean, episode 1 of Operation Dragonfire from Deke, it just pretty much retconned all that shit out, right? They used the Pythonizer and made Cobra Commander humanoid again and turned Serpentor into an iguana, and they were like, done, moving on. Yeah. So many people just fucking hated Cobra Law. Viper Scout says they made Doc and Dial Tone a chick before Snake Eyes. Yeah. And the thing with, so Doc is his daughter, niece. Somebody actually me, and I'll fucking read it in an hour. Dial Tone was Jack Morelli's sister, Jill, right? Jack and Jill, get it? Yeah. Yeah, they made Dial Tone a female for Resolute, and then that carried over. Whatever. I didn't have a problem with that. It just is what it is. Yeah, Doc died and a female took over. That is true. Was it his daughter? Not everyone's a subject matter expert all the time. Like, we're all human. I couldn't remember if it was his daughter or his niece. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, see, look. Zaymot Rogue says niece. Suka and Man of Action say daughter. I don't know. Whatever. Slate on Slate is a loyalist for Puma. All right. Okay. 49er Brian, I've seen you in Chuck Taylor's too, Chad. No, you have not. I guarantee you have not. Fucking guarantee you. However, I did just buy a pair of Chuck Taylors. I did. And the reason I know you haven't seen me in Chuck Taylors is because I just bought a pair of Chuck Taylors for the first time in probably 25 years. TJC, what is up, my friend? It's good to see you. I hope everything is good on your side of the pond, my friend. Man of Action says the new Joes do need some love, though. They don't get any advertising to let people know that the team is still working. No, because they rely on QVC streams and brand loyalists. 100%. And that's kind of what we're going to move into. Yeah, we're going to move into that. I'm getting away from all this talk about the boys. We're not fucking... Codename Hunter is laughing about dirty pirate hookers. Hey, people have said that numerous times. There's a quote from Better Off Dead. If you know, you know. The best John Cusack movie. That and Hot Tub Time Machine. But John Cusack's a fucking nut job. He's another example of people that just need to just shut your mouth, right? Put out all your adult pretender nonsense and shut your mouth. Lord of Brooklyn. G.I. Joe fans, where would you be without Hasbro? Yeah. I guess we got to wait until a new company gets the 6-inch G.I. Joe license, right? In about a year and a half. You guys know what I'm talking about. Will Newman. The left ruin everything with their whining and crying. Preach. Everybody knows. Nicotrona says, Lord, I'm here doing my best. Yeah, I mean, Will, right? Yeah. Get woke, go broke. That exists for a reason. Yep. Rezakai says one of the few Deke wins was retconning Cobra Law. Fucking A. Fucking A. Will says Cobra Law characters should have been made by Dr. Mindbender as a lab experiment instead of the story we got in the movie. And that's the thing, right? For anybody who loves Star Trek, and I'm kind of going somewhere with this. The more you get outside of Star Trek TOS, right? Like the original series, the movies, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager, the more you get outside of that, the more convoluted Star Trek just gets. And then it's just all fucked up, and you've got like young emo crying, singing Spock and shit, right? Like what has become of Star Trek, again, with the tourists and the wackos that want to just fucking ruin all these IPs that we have been the stewards of for decades. Because the fucking whack jobs that ruin Star Wars with their, Raylo shipping, they don't watch the fucking movies. They don't go to the theater. They don't buy the expensive prop replicas or the toys. They don't support the intellectual property of Star Wars. They just want to fucking see it how they want it, right? Like the Acolyte. Yeah. We're the ones buying the toys. That's why the only toys that move are original trilogy and prequel shit. That's a fact. Can't argue that. Right. So then in the Sunbow series, you have Dr. Mindbender creating Serpentor because of a dream. But then in the fucking Real American Hero Marvel comics, totally different. No Sergeant Slaughter in there. It's Storm Shadow, and that motherfucker's dead on a beach. But he's not dead, right? And then come the 87 animated movie, and it wasn't Dr. Mindbender's idea. It was Pythona fucking putting it in his subconscious, and well, what the fuck? But nowadays, they're all just fucking slurping up anything Cobra Law that fucking Classified puts out. Even the people who will like blatantly say like, yeah, I fucking hated Cobra Law, but I'll buy them. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to give you shit for what you buy. HGC says, hello, in the vein of Mrs. Doubtfire. Good to see you, dude. Viper Scout says, best part of Serpentor's story was Cobra Commander agreeing to make a super soldier. Then he realized he messed up. But see, that's another way that they fucking cucked Cobra Commander. Right? They sidelined him. One of the first things that Serpentor does is fucking backhand him. No. Cobra Commander would fucking kill him in his sleep. But they had to cut Cobra Commander for Serpentor. And I like Serpentor as a character, but I'm strictly sticking with the Marvel Comics Serpentor, right? He was just like the Captain America. He was the fucking poster boy for the larger Cobra war effort. He wasn't in charge. He wasn't meant to be in charge. Anywho, whatever. No flag points. I'm a mother effing chat hole loyalists.
Wolverines! Wolverines! Hell yeah!
Hell yeah. Absolutely agree with that. Man of Action says, yeah, they don't have Star Trek experts in the room. Fuck, no, they don't. Yeah, there's a perfect example. Doctor Who. Oh, God. Yeah. Doctor Who, Kurtzman Trek. But Chad, Rose Tico was the best black series of all time. Where's Hicks? Somebody go, not Wake Up Hicks, as in Corporal Dwayne Hicks, Jeff Hicks. Somebody go get Jeff Hicks and fucking read that to him. I'm going to send that to him later. He's going to fucking blow a gasket. No, Rose Tico sucked ass. Admiral Holdo was another fucking self-insert with her purple ass hair. Yeah. Zamot Rogue says there's a dude on YouTube talks big about the old guys who bitch about New Joe, but sales show that Classified floundered until they gave everyone the OG figures. It's not like their sales are that great anyway. They've been going down every year for the past couple of years, and that might just be because of, economics, but Etham says, I would love to see Vala doing 6-inch Joes. His work with the Pursuit of Cobra line was top notch. Pursuit of Cobra, yeah, 30th anniversary, 50th anniversary was the fucking best 4-inch Joe shit ever. Marco says, preach it. This is the truth. That's what I'm talking about, man. And again, right? My truth doesn't have to be everybody's truth. You don't have to do a live stream about my live streams and cry about my fucking opinions on shit. Like, get your own opinions on things. Don't worry about what I have to fucking say. If you know, you know. HGC, there was an Admiral Holdo figure at a local Ollie's from 2020 to this spring. It was finally gone last week. That's that bullshit. That's that bullshit right there. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm scrolling past all that. Zombie Finger, I'm a Punisher loyalist, but I still don't watch the John Bernthal Punisher. I love the Punisher. I fucking hate John Bernthal's Punisher. Just my opinion, right? We all have our own opinion. Fucking take them or leave them. Opinions are like assholes. We're all supposed to have different opinions because who wants to live in an echo chamber? Have you seen a lot of fucking channels on YouTube lately that turned into echo chambers? It's not good, right? Echo chambers are fucking bullshit. I don't want people who agree with me. I want people who like to challenge my opinions and share theirs. I'm fucking here to listen to them. If you don't like Psykiller, the GoBots, I don't care. That's fine. 100%. But then you got all the fucking that's Vala again. Then you get all the fucking toy activist weirdos that want to turn Punisher into a guy who like beats up fucking ICE agents and stuff. It's like, shut the fuck up. Some other guy on Instagram is saying that the Punisher skull, right, which is a memento mori, that's what it's based on, right? Memento mori, everyone dies. It's racist. What? No. It's like Anita Sarkeesian. Everything is racist. Everything is sexist. Brad Davenport, ladies and gentlemen, Brad Davenport is here and says, punch and pie, you bearded SOB. This for you, Brad.
Ay, mira, 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 mira.
Good to see you, buddy. HGC, I'm going to do a live stream about my chats in Chad's live stream. I don't know if that's an original idea. Hey, you do whatever. Maybe you'll get more than 8 people watching. I don't know. If you do, you're doing better than some pathetic people. Dreadnought says Thomas Jane is the best Punisher. I don't see why we haven't gotten like an accurate Punisher story. I'm not even talking about the actor, but I mean like the story. You know what I mean? Everything's got to be a little different. Russell says, hey, Chad, got to check out Army Buddy in town for the holiday weekend, and we are meeting up. Dude, enjoy it. Appreciate that, buddy. Have a good fucking time. Crash Watchman, what is up, my friend? Been stuck at work, but I look forward to joining the Replay Squad. Replay Squad is always appreciated. Thank you very much. Matthew Mahler, what's up, Matt? Says Serpentor shows up as not active in trademarks. A certain guy was like 3 seconds away from buying the Serpentor trademark, which, fuck, I wish that happened. Yeah. Zombie Finger, my mom and older sister are echo chambers. Yeah. It stifles creativity, right? Just me. Can we move homeless people into echo chambers? How much will that cost us? I'm sure it would cost less than all the fucking illegals that we house and pay for and give free shit to. I don't know. Suka loves the Ray Stevenson Punisher. I should buy Serpentor. No, and no, my favorite go-bit is not Scooter. I secretly hate Sidekill. You guys with all the fucking fake news. Oh, Toys of Gotham. Did you like that? Do you want to see it again? Do you? Nah.
Chad, how insensitive of you.
No, we won't do that. That's fine. Everybody's talking about Punisher, TJC. I've had up to 12 in the chat on my streams. I'll have you know, Chad. I'm proud of you. I love you very much. Look, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. Always about the quality. Raymond says, Chad, I'm challenging you. 118 isn't the Lord's scale. 120-ish scale is the Lord's scale. Yeah. The fuck? My rat tail. I don't have a fucking rat tail. Maybe I'll grow like a rat tail and then the Scott Ian beard so it balances out front and back. I don't know. Junkie, and what's up, brother? Good to see you. Hey, Chad, let's remember tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I wore the red, white, and blue flag on my hat today. And that was the very first thing that we talked about when the stream went live. 100%. Absolutely. Marco says 3 3/4 done. I'm more of a 4-inch modern construction fan than 3 3/4 O-ring. That's just me. I do have a lot of 3 3/4 O-ring, but you know, we all like what we like. John says, happy Memorial Day. Let's TY. What's TY? I don't know. Yeah. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Remember what Memorial Day is. Okay. We're going to move on. Let's change this fucking picture. 2 hours later. God dang it. Okay. Brand loyalty. Why do brands encourage brand loyalty? And now we're going to move on. Marketers actively foster tribalism. Is that where we're supposed to be? Yep. As you were. Marketers actively foster tribalism. We were talking about that by building communities rather than just selling products. Again, it's the abuse of that word fucking community. By focusing on emotional branding and shared values, companies transform everyday consumers into vocal brand ambassadors who police the community for them. Think about that. Corporations and marketers focus on emotional branding to transform consumers into vocal brand ambassadors. There it is. Right fucking there.
Community, and community.
Right. That's what they want. Another aspect of what they get by vocal brand ambassadors, free marketing. And we're going to look at examples of that. We've talked about groupthink before. Talked numerous times about how echo chambers are bad. And all the channels that have turned into echo chambers. Because fuck, there's tons of them. Brand loyalty groupthink occurs when consumers conform to the purchasing habits and opinions of a specific peer group or online community. Joe groups, fucking Joe groups, right? This goes back to all of that stuff of people want to be validated. Maybe they're just not comfortable being toy collectors or whatever, or they're just a stand for Marvel Legends. They think, oh, well, Marvel Legends is way better than this, high-end collectible Spider-Man who has 1 million more points of articulation, but it's Marvel Legends, so it's better. Right. How many fucking Marvel Legends brand loyalists, Instagram pages, or YouTube channels are there? How many Star Wars brand loyalist fucking channels are out there? Does anyone remember Christian Harloff when he was like, oh, I've been busting my ass being a Star Wars fan for the past 5 years and I ain't get fucking free tickets? Anybody remember that fucking meltdown? Because he felt he fucking deserved it. No, Piss Tank is Piss Tank is the worst. John says, wishing veterans a happy Memorial Day. Well, appreciate that. Memorial Day is for everyone, right? To remember the cost of our freedom. You can wish me a happy Veterans Day on Veterans Day. HGC says, I stand for Ice Cream Soldier and Hiss version 2, aka the best Hiss. The Hiss 2 is the fucking best Hiss. Agreed. Ice Cream Soldier can get fucked. He can 100% get fucked. Anyway, moving on. By prioritizing social belonging over objective evaluation, right? They want to belong. So like all your classified fucking stands, right? Oh yeah, no, they're great. Don't worry about the accessories. Don't worry about how they're all gummy and bent and warped and fucked up. Don't worry about how this is a repaint of that and it costs more, right? Because it's social belonging. They prioritize it over objective evaluation. We talked earlier about how people like to shit on certain YouTube channels or Instagram pages, or I hate the fucking term, but content creators, because they're objective about things. They're fans, they're fanatical, they want it to be better. And so they point out all those critical failures of, a line or a show or a comic or whatever. That's objective evaluation. Consumers fiercely defend a brand, ignoring competitive alternatives. Again, DC Direct Batman Arkham stuff versus McFarlane Arkham stuff, day and night. Classified and Valaverse, right? How many of these people who fiercely defend the Hasbro brand like to say that the competitive alternative is a rip-off? Tons, right? Because they prioritize social belonging. That's that groupthink when it comes to brand loyalty. Sometimes display cult-like devotion to a company's identity. All the joking that we've all been doing about Hasbro and the Hasbros and the Marvel Legends fucking stands and all this stuff, the G.I. Joe classified tribalists, that's exactly what it is. Right fucking there. It's exactly what it is. Edward, thank you very much. That's for Veterans Day, not Memorial Day, but I appreciate it. I really, really, truly do. Laser Pants, what's up? Harloff got mad at me on Twitter. He got up in my DMs all butthurt. Yeah, but he's busting his ass for 5 years being a Star Wars fan, man. I will guarantee, look, for anybody who doesn't know, this dude knows more about he probably forgot more about Star Wars than Christian Harloff ever fucking knew about Star Wars. Guaranteed. I'd put money on that shit. Anyway, moving on. Raymond says those are shills who are paid spokesmen. Weird. We're going to get into that. Weird. Mm-hmm. The mechanics of groupthink when we talk about brand loyalty, social identity. Consumers often tie their personal identity to the brands they use. We talked about when brand loyalty can be a good thing. Quality products, right? I love Vans. I love Vans slip-ons. They are a quality shoe. To me, I will always be a fucking stand for slip-on Vans. It doesn't just have to be about toys or comics. You're a Marvel person over a fucking DC person. You're a Batman person over a fucking Superman person. Brand loyalty can be good because you're going to spend your hard-earned money on something that is of quality to you. But it can also be negative, right? Tying personal identities to the brands. When a product is associated with a specific lifestyle, right? Apple versus Android, blah, 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 blah. Buying it signals membership in a preferred community. There we go. I definitely forgot a lot about Star Wars. I'm trying to forget more. The power of many. Please don't do that weird again. Why? I'm trying to fucking channel my inner Rachel Zegler. You guys want to hear something fucked up? This is fucked up, right? I love my kid to death. We raised her right. Yesterday, what the fuck did we watch? Oh, we watched the original Blackwell Ghost on Amazon. It's supposed to be a documentary. It's bullshit, but I mean, it's still entertaining for what it is. And then when it was over, the kid says she has a friend over. Oh, now it's time for us to watch Twilight. And I was like, no. And then she says, you can only pick one. Do you watch Twilight or do you watch Glee? And I had nothing, right? Because it's either gay, sparkly vampires or it's, gay, handy, capable fucking Glee Club. It's a lose-lose. But, it was a good one. It was a good one, right? Take one or the other. Exactly. I was like, fuck, I would rather just die. Pi says Twilight, no question. Fuck no. I'm going to go with neither. Option C, none of the above. Anyway, moving on. Bandwagon effect. Brand loyalty and bandwagon effect, hand in hand, right? 6 in one hand, half dozen in another. People are hardwired to do better in groups with shared interests. Are they, though? Oh, I can't argue that. Seeing friends or influencers, we're going to come back around to that, use, praise, and validate a brand creates immense subconscious pressure to join in. Talking heads on the YouTube. All right. Influencers. A lot of the toy, the C word has become all about influencers. Not sharing in passions or love or memories or any of these things that we've spent however long collecting, if it's 1 year or fucking 50 years. It's about influencers. No, I don't have to pick one. Choice of Gotham says I'd at least take Glee. 2 hot chicks. No. I'll take none. Yeah. I would rather watch 12 hours of bush Wookiees, says James Lucas. How about 6 seconds? Will you take 6 seconds? You asked for that. You get what you deserve, right? Raymond says it's sheep following sheep. But that's kind of what we're getting at, right? These are like the not good aspects of brand loyalty. Marco says, in all their ways of navigating the world, there isn't more because they've never lived and experienced it as such. Dog's freaking out. Anyway, moving on. Confirmation bias. Once embedded in a brand's community, loyalists actively seek out information that validates their choices. How often do we talk about people who want their fucking dolly purchases to be validated? The need for validation is fucking ridiculous, especially at our level of adult collecting. Why the fuck do you need validation? You're a grown-ass person. You don't need other people to validate your shit. That's schoolyard behavior. They highlight the differences that make their brand better. Classified as better because of. McFarlane Batman is better because of. All right. Superman is better than Batman because of. He's fucking not. While ignoring the similarities it shares with cheaper or superior alternatives. There you go. Consequences. Immunity to competition. Real simple. So many people are like, oh, I only care about the original straight arm 1982 fucking original 13 Joes. Okay. That's fine. But you can't tell me that Ace version 3 from 1993 wouldn't fit right in with the original 13 Joes. Even the version 1.5s from 83 with the swivel arm battle grip. You're telling me that Ace wouldn't fit right in with that? The version 3 Ace and the OD green? Fuck yeah, he would. What about Shipwreck version 2? In the wetsuit, that's a badass version of Shipwreck. But so many people, right, they're just immune to anything else. Well, I only like 82 to 94 O-ring Joes. I don't want the Super 7 Joes. Okay. That's fine. But what about like, oh, well, if it's not Hasbro, it's not a real O-ring G.I. Joe. Well, like, I mean, this is Fumbles. This is based on a Robot Chicken episode. This is an O-ring figure, but he's bad as fuck. And I love him. Because one, it's hilarious. And two, it's a fucking awesome character. And Seth Green has a great story about how Hasbro lost their shit over it. Members within the group will stay true to the brand even when faced with superior or less expensive options from competitives. Yeah. Millions of examples of that. I mean, classified prices have been going up and up and up and up. A competitor that the stands or the brand loyalists love to call inferior or a ripoff has been lowering prices with accessories that aren't fucking super soft, duro, gummy, warped bullshit. How many of these fucking stands are like, oh yeah, well, you know, it's all classified for me, but I've got these Valaverse accessories with it, and I've got, you know, these gridiron fucking attachments on my classified vehicles, and it's like, so then you're not just classified only, right? It's like that classified elite Facebook group, right? Full of all those fucking super Hasbro stands. But half the shit they show as classified elite, it's like a Vala buck with these Vala accessories and these fucking gridiron accessories. And the only thing classified about it is the head. How is that classified elite? And then when you fucking call it out, oh my Lord, they lose their shit. Hey, echo chambers. Talk about that a lot. Any criticism of the brand by outsiders is treated as an attack on the group's values or the individual's identity, leading to fierce online debates and collective defensiveness. Don't need to say any more about this. I mean, it's all self-explanatory. Anybody here hanging out, you hear this shit and you have like a million examples in your head. Tribal exclusion. Groupthink creates an us versus them mentality. We beat that into the ground, wherein consumers actively mock, dismiss, or boycott opposing brands. An example, right? E.g. is the console wars in gaming, right? Oh, well, I only cared about Sega Genesis. I didn't care about fucking Super NES. Okay. Right. PlayStation versus Xbox versus console. You know, people are like, oh, I play on console. It's fucking superior. You know, oh, I'm a PC gamer. Fucking. Okay, cool. Don't care. Anybody know who this guy is? Now we're going to get into how blind brand loyalty doesn't serve the overall intellectual property, right? If there's no constructive criticism, there's nothing wrong until it is a complete fucking train wreck and your intellectual property becomes a moribund brand, dead in the water. That's the ma'am. No, that is not Chris Gore. This is Eric Voss from the New Rock Stars. Skydro Walker, what's up? We're going, dude. Georgie says, Timu Boba Fett. Oh, the guy with the beard, no clue. No, it's Eric Voss from the New Rock Stars. This dude is one of those like false positivity. Everything is amazing. They're so stunning and brave, right? If you watch anything on the New Rock Stars, especially this Eric Voss guy, it's all fantastic. It's so fucking great. The Acolyte was amazing. Fucking Last Jedi was fantastic. Blah, 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 right? But this dude, he's one of those diehard tribalist fucking Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy apologist. He did this whole fucking thing about how yeah, exactly. So stunning and gay. About how Kathleen Kennedy did so many fucking amazing things for Star Wars. Oh, she was so fucking great. But now we've been talking about how the Mandalorian and Grogu is only tracking 60% of the fucking traffic and business that Solo had. Right? It is 40% down from Solo, which was their biggest failure to date. Yeah, I know they say Mandalorian and Grogu only cost $160 million, but it's your first movie in how many years? And it's just fucking dry white toast out of the gate, but they fucking love it. They fucking love it because brand loyalty, right? Being kind of one of those influencers, they have to toe that line because they want their access. They want their free shit. So all that stuff is intertwined, the free shit brigade, all that stuff. The power of many. Exactly. Robert's Infinite Realms says, I hate Voss, but he openly talked about how he gets special treatment. Yeah, he does. Absolutely. He's like, well, we don't get paid. We don't get paid by them. We just get this, that, gift baskets, all this stuff. Fucking, yeah, gift cards, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. Brand loyalty and explosions. Exactly. But Eric Voss is an example. Anybody know these two? Because they're in the exact same boat as Eric Voss and New Rockstars and all those people who bust their ass for 5 years to be a Star Wars fan. Anybody? Cooter, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Greetings, fellow fucks. This is Star Wars Explained. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into the fucking weird shit that this guy does, dressing up like Slave Leia and all that shit. Not even gonna get into that. But these fucking two, just as bad with the whole like, we have to be loyal to the brand. We have to be loyal to fucking Disney. We have to be loyal to fucking Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm. We have to. All right. And they just sit here and they don't want to say it's bad because they don't want to lose their access. They don't want to lose their status as fucking Lucasfilm influencers. So they say like, oh, it's just exactly what I expected it to be. It's fun. It's the Mandalorian, right? They just dry white toast. But because channels, i.e. influencers like Star Wars Explained, like the New Rockstars, they don't want to give any constructive criticism. Star Wars wound up where it is. It's not just bad decisions by people, at the corporate levels, like we've talked about, the corporatism, how Hasbro handles its intellectual properties, how it doesn't want to be a toy company anymore. It's not just about that. It's as much the mouthpieces, the fucking influencers, the people who become their marketing branch. This is what marketing is these days. Influencers, YouTubers, Instagram accounts. But yeah, I mean, if you want to fucking fall asleep, just watch any one of these videos because I show the thumbnails along with fucking screen grabs, which is why they're a little blurry, but they're just fucking garbage. Like there is no substance. It's literally just like, hi, we went and saw this for free because we toe the fucking corporate line. What about this fucking guy? Anybody know who this is? Yeah, I mean, you should because of the fucking their logos right there. Anthony says Star Wars Theory is a straight shooter. Yeah, Star Wars Theory is a straight shooter, but he got fucking shunned because he was a straight shooter, because he was like, no, I'm not going to say it's fucking great. I'm not going to say it's good for the overall intellectual property. Like they're abusing their fucking IPs. He got fucking blacklisted by Lucasfilm and Disney. Yeah, he definitely got blacklisted by them. Jesse, what's up, man? I saw you sneak in here, boy. Robert says Carly is a good example. I laugh at how fake she is. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, you know. Anyone in the chat see Mandalorian? No spoilers, please, good or bad. Mother Slug, GDL, Gay Dolly Lover. No, it's Geek Dad Life. Yeah. This is Geek Dad Life. So again, when we talk about like everything is great, there's no constructive criticism, we got to be the fucking talking heads for these corporations. He's another one of them, right? He will not give constructive criticism. But again, why not? Because we get shit like this. We get to go to the San Diego Comic-Con press breakfast and get free shit because everything is great. Positivity police. Everything is fucking amazing. Doesn't want to talk about anything constructive criticism. Can't do it. There's a lot. There's a lot of fucking talking heads out there like that. A ton. And this is where brand loyalty like fucking trashes not only intellectual properties, but you know, the parent brand in itself. But corporations that are going to cooperate like this, their business model is, you should be glad we put it out, and we're going to get people who will say that. You should be glad they put it out. I'm just going to leave this on the screen for a second. This isn't me shitting on these people. This is me just pointing it out. 100% pointing it out. Again, with the hitching your brand to a brand. I'm not going to necessarily say that Chris McLeod from the Full Force hitches his brand to Classified. I'm not going to say that because he will talk anything G.I. Joe. But the thing is, when G.I. Joe goes back in the fucking closet like it always does, then what? I mean, are you going to talk about anything from 20 years ago, 40 years ago, 55 years ago? Probably not. This whole brand is designed around being the social media and YouTube marketing mouthpiece for Classified. 100%. And if you go look at said channel and look at the numbers that pull from a live stream with like Brian Flynn from Super 7, I guarantee you they're lower than what this current live stream that you're watching. Those numbers are lower than this live stream will get. Like, being a brand loyalist, being a mouthpiece, it doesn't always pay off. Yeah, you get access and things like that. You get to go to San Diego Comic-Con fucking breakfast, but your only currency on YouTube is authenticity. That's it. That's your currency, right? You got to be true to yourself. You got to be true to what you believe, your values, beliefs, behaviors, and norms. Authenticity. Are you authentic, or are you trying to get shit? And a lot of people can see through that. Like, people can smell that bullshit. You know what I mean? But this guy's whole thing has been his relationship with Lenny, Tony, Emily. I mean, all he has now is Emily. Hopefully that sticks around. Otherwise, like, what do you got? You got nothing. This dude, Dan Who, right? So we're not just talking about G.I. Joe, right? Not just talking about G.I. Joe. For all intents and purposes, this guy is the biggest culprit when it comes to Marvel Legends, right? Everything's amazing. Oh, look at me. I get all this shit for free. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, he's amazing. Yeah, exactly. Everything's fantastic. Everything's fucking perfect. It's all amazing. No problems with distribution, no problems with price hikes, blaming fucking Russia, blaming Ukraine, blaming oil, blaming terrorists, nope, no. Everything's fantastic. Everything's fucking awesome, right? So it is what it is. What are we doing? Dan horror reviews. And again, Marvel Legends isn't my thing, but I reached out to numerous people and asked if you had to talk about the biggest brand loyalists, the biggest like tribalism fucking influencers or talking heads or whatever about this IP, this IP, this IP, that IP, who are they? Obviously, Chris McLeod was like low-hanging fruit. There's a lot of other classified only G.I. Joe channels out there that they just hitched their fucking wagon to classified. I don't know what they're going to do when that fucking line's done. Because the reality is Arkham Asylum is calling. The reality is, lines end. They just do. IP freely. I'm looking for IP freely. I'm looking for Amanda hug and kiss. Anyway, yeah. That's all I got to say about that. These dudes. Look, I'll give these guys credit for going there. I like to say never go full classified, but some people like to say never go full cross-dresser, but there it is. Strong collectors, they're another example of like everything is fantastic. It will always be fantastic. It has to be fantastic. Otherwise, our whole grift is going to fall apart, right? Like there are those who get the stuff and there are those who desperately want to get the stuff. Yeah, there was a comment on G.I. Joe classified Instagram from a certain army YouTube channel that was like, you guys need better military advisors, because he's like trying to get a fucking in with them. But whatever. I wanted to watch a couple minutes of this video. So this is from Figures of Action Reviews, and he was just basically talking about the comparisons of they don't even call it the 250th. It's just whatever the fuck they call it. This Duke and Blackbeard from the Black. So it's actually it's a really interesting video. I want to give this guy a shout out, and we're just going to pop through it. Robert's Infinite Realm says this is a good video. Yeah, it actually is. So John says strong collectors are whack. Like I said, I did some homework on some of these channels, and I just popped around, and it's all like everything is awesome, everything is awesome, everything is awesome, positivity police, blah 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 blah, like just endlessly. That's all any of it was. I didn't find anything that was like constructive criticism. I'm not saying I'm a subject matter expert on these channels or brands or whatever, but Jesus, man. It's like, oh, if I don't get fucking free shit, the Christian Harloff thing, right? Oh, I've been busting my ass and I don't get free shit from fucking Lucasfilm. Viper Island was the exact same way. If anyone remembers a few years ago, Viper Island, he was one of the biggest Hasbro classified stands. Like, it was just the fucking best thing ever. And then he uploaded their fucking 87 movie and he got smacked down for it. And he didn't get one of their fucking shill free shit boxes. And the dude got pissed. And ever since then, it was like, oh, we're the biggest lovers of classified, but we're just going to say all this negative shit. All right. That's why Viper Island got a case of the ass, because he didn't get fucking preferential treatment. Anyway, let me pull this down. Hey, what are you up to? It's Sunday. You enjoying your Sunday? Yeah. What are we all talking about? Eddie Figure says the black might be my first Valaverse figures. I mean, that's cool. Hoth the Basher says, I disagree with the strong collectors. They are just having fun and they talk about what they don't like. I will accept that. Like I said, I'm not a subject matter expert. Not at all. But I couldn't find it. And I looked at maybe 15, 20 other things, and I didn't see that. That's just me. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just saying I couldn't find it. So, plus a cross-dressing. Fucking pride warriors. That's fine. Whatever. It is what it is. You know, got to get them brownie points. Pride warrior. I'm just setting up this video. Jeffy says, you think this is bad? Check out the Ghostbusters cosplay world. I want nothing to do with that whatsoever. No, I'm good. 100%. Yep. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If I don't agree, they'll come for me. Blah, blah, blah. Yakety, yakety do. You know, you guys know, right? Yeah, fucking know. All right, so let's check this out. The audio should be good because I checked it on the member stream. So fuck you. That's insensitive of me. I'm sorry. Here we go. We're just going to pop around on this.
9 items, right? He comes with 9 items and he's $27.99. Now, I don't want to hear from anybody that says, well, it's just not in Hasbro's budget. You know, they have tight profit margins. No, I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing it at all.
See, that's kind of the argument. Oh, it's not in Hasbro's budget to do this or that with the accessories, you know, to fix the gumminess, to do extra hands or an extra head because they're tight profit margins. So which is it? Is it tight profit margins, or is it they're making so much money off this IP because, oh, this IP is fucking so great? It doesn't make more than 30 million a year. The $1 billion plus company, all their profits are Wizards of the Coast, right? It's not G.I. Joe.
I'm not hearing it at all because if they really wanted to, they would. And let's go ahead and trek over here to Valaverse. And we have
now he's doing the comparison.
The black figures coming out. That's coming soon. Blackbeard is priced at $27.99. $27.99. And look what all this guy comes with.
No, this is not
an extra head. So if you want to say, oh well, Duke has a helmet. Okay, whatever. All right, let's pretend. Let's pretend in the world of make believe that.
Yeah, like how do you compare a standard Joe visored helmet to an additional head? Like there's no comparison at all whatsoever. Yeah, and then Zaymot Rogue says it's all existing parts. Tooling is long since paid up. Yeah, it is a repaint. I get it. It's a repaint. And the whole thing with the 250th anniversary, they don't even lean into it. They don't even call it that. They don't call it like America's birthday or anything like that. I mean, if they dressed them all up like fucking Super Dave Osborne or Evel Knievel, maybe, but it looks like a Team America fucking ripoff, right? Yeah, that Blackbird. I'll see myself out. That Blackbeard looks fucking awesome. Yeah, we're getting there. Shh. Don't jump ahead. Gotta stay with me.
A head and a helmet are the same, but this man still comes with 1, 2, 3 extra pairs of hands. 3 extra pairs of hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guns, a knife, a longer knife, and a more believable looking knife, and a straight sword, man. Bro, so let's count it all together. Let's count all the accessories together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh my gosh, he almost has as many accessories as the Maximum Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I guess Bobby Vala is doing us a favor and charging cheap, or should he be $50 too? I can't get it, man. I don't understand. And then on top of that, Like, look at the packaging. Cool. All right, let's move past the packaging because we're getting off topic with it. But it also comes with a wired cape. A wired
Too many hands.
cape of all things.
Wired cape.
So we get
wired
soft goods
cape.
at $27.99. The only argument that I could possibly.
Yep. All those extra accessories, hands, another head, wired soft goods cape, same price, right? He's just trying to talk about value. That's it. And a lot of times value can be intrinsic. Like you find more value in a character like Duke than you would in a new character. And that's where we were talking about the whole nostalgia baiting and how larger corporations, they're risk averse, whereas independent companies, comics, games, toys, etc., they're like, oh yeah, well, we have the freedom to fucking do whatever we want. We don't have 47 layers of bureaucracy. Kind of one of those things. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. I got a couple of timestamps, baby. I do. Once it plays.
Oh, I don't like Valaverse. I'm not a Bobby Valor fan. Why? Oh, he's arrogant. And Chris Cox isn't? Have you heard that guy talk? That guy talks like you guys just gonna buy anything that Hasbro brings out.
Valid points. Like, so Figures of Action Reviews brings up a super valid point there. A lot of people say, well, Bobby Valor, he's too vocal about stuff and he's too arrogant and he's this and that. Okay. I mean, that's fine. You don't have to agree with people or whatever, but the reality is he's raising the tide, right? Rising tide raises all ships. Classified did not give you extra hands. Classified did not give you blast effects. Classified did not give you removable magazines until this independent company started showing them, hey, look, we can do this, right? It's cost effective. It adds value. It works really well for toy photographers and all sorts of stuff. And collectors love this shit. That's when Classified started putting it out. And he fucking nails it when he says, oh, people don't like Bobby Val's attitude, but they give Chris Cox a pass. I mean, yeah. Have any of you ever heard fucking the ridiculous shit that comes out of Chris Cox's face? What he's done to that company as a whole, to the legacy of the Hassenfelds, Merle and Steven, not so much Alan, because Alan really fucking didn't do much, but the Hassenfelds built that company. Like, their legacy has just been fucking stomped on by Chris Cox. But he can fucking say whatever he wants. Exactly what this dude just said. Chris Cox pretty much just, oh, well, they'll fucking buy anything. Remember when the Walmart retro collection fucking 4-inch Joes came out, which it should have been never named that. They put version 2 Snake Eyes on a version 1 Snake Eyes card. They didn't give a fuck. They don't care because they're just like, oh, whatever. You know, it's too big to fail. They'll fucking buy it. Same thing with Star Wars. Lesbian space witches and the power of many. They'll fucking watch it. Who gives a fuck? Ryan Johnson's bullshit. They'll watch it. They'll love it. It's Star Wars. It's too big to fail. That's that bullshit. All right. People love to fucking cry because of the tribalism, because of the brand loyalists, right? Who create their little identities and their fucking brands that they support and what they don't. It's part of that brand loyalist identity to give someone like Chris Cox a pass, to give someone like Emily and her, you better give me your fucking pronouns at this panel or we won't acknowledge your question. They'll give her a fucking pass. But what? Somebody who owns an independent toy company, and we don't even have to talk about fucking Mr. Vala and Valaverse, but I mean, look at Ace and Ramen Toy. Like, Ace gives a shit. He is a passionate dude, but so many people fucking and they just bitch. I don't see them giving Hasbro shit for what they did with Mask and Loyal Subjects. Oh yeah. Yeah, he has Ryan Johnson syndrome, right? He's got that fucking football head and that little fucking face. Chris Cox, he looks like a real life character from South Park, right? His fucking face is all tiny and his head is giant. He's a fucking weird ass dude. Alert, Mr. Chad is a paid operative of Valaverse. You know, see, I can talk about this all day long because I own as many classified figures as I do Valaverse figures. I'm not a fucking spokesperson for anything. I'll talk about GoBots more than I'll talk about fucking any of this shit. I don't give a hell. But the points still stand, right? The arguments are still there.
Oh, we've been tinkering with the insides of the action figures, you know, changing things here and there, you know, hoping that the buyer won't know. He literally said that.
Yeah, he does.
Chris Cox said that, hoping that the buyers would not notice the difference of the changes they made to the insides of the figure. If that ain't shady talk, I don't know what is. Y'all gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. And there's so many things that Hasbro has missed that, you know, Valaverse did pretty well. One is that I don't understand why they would result to, you know, even having guns if they're gonna make them look so fake. Like, don't even do it. What's the deal? I don't understand. Maybe they want kids to think that G.I. Joe fight with Nerf guns, but
okay, here's my argument about that. The scaled down Nerf guns, because Hasbro owns Nerf, right, as part of that whole old acquisition thing. I understand that people had a problem with the scaled down Nerf guns. At least Classified was trying to have its own visual language, but, you know, nostalgia, the member berries, people couldn't fucking, they just wouldn't do it. They couldn't have it. But regardless, you have like the XMLR 14 rifle, which is that standard G.I. Joe rifle that, you know, Sunbow made so popular. You have the Cobra Vipers rifle, et cetera, et cetera. There's a visual language that carries across with G.I. Joe, you know, the ceremonial way that the Crimson Guard has the bayonet always on the rifle. It just is what it is. Nerf argument aside, there's always been a specific visual language to G.I. Joe weapons, especially when we talk about Mars Industries. They're very future forward. G.I. Joe itself has always been at least arguably 20 years more technologically advanced than current times. You know, in the 80s, they had jump jetpacks and laser rifles and things like that. Now it would just stand to argue that they would be even more so technologically advanced. So I appreciate the fact that, you know, there are companies like Valaverse and others that make accurate weapons, like truly accurate weapons. I mean, and a lot of people know Bobby's a gun guy. So that's where his heart kind of lies. But, you know, I think comparing Joe weapons with other companies' weapons is very much apples and oranges. Get bad dudes. Valaverse are lacking paint apps compared to Monster Force and other companies. Most look plain. I mean, I appreciate if that's your opinion, but again, with apples and oranges, Monster Force puts out how many figures every so what? Like, look at their MOQs, look at their waves and releases. I mean, I don't own any Monster Force figures, so I can't hold up one of each and compare them for myself. I just know that one company, you pre-order something and you get it 4 years later. So that's all I know. Impossible Pie says Bobby is one of the few that did a review of Loyal Subjects of Mask and didn't trash it. I mean, that's cool. I guess his didn't break. A lot of people's broke. Like I said, I don't know. If authenticity is your currency, who do you believe? And that's what a lot of this comes down to. Who do you believe? The people who maybe got some toys for free and were expected to say positive shit about it? I don't know. You know? Chad, any news on your Patriot Force figure? They have been awfully quiet for a while. You know what's funny? Ryan from Patriot Force was in Albuquerque Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday. I don't know. It's all a blur to me now that I'm fucking re-retired. Thank you for that. Anyway, Ryan was in town. And we went out to dinner, me, him, and the ma'am, and we talked about that for a long time, for a couple hours at dinner. I am not at liberty to say shit. Obviously, I'm under contract. A contract still stands. Read into that what you want, but just wait. Yeah, just stand by. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on. I just want to kind of get through this real quick, and then we're gonna have some laughs. We're gonna look at an Instagram post. Yeah.
Another thing that I think that Valiverse did very well, that Hasbro just, for I don't know if it was pride or if it was ego, they just refused to go ahead and do the same. Hands. How many times have you had your Cobra figures, your G.I. Joe figures, and wish that you had extra swappable hands? For $10, you get all these hands. $10. $10. Matter of fact, and the thing is that with Hasbro, if they were smart, if they were full of smart people, they would have this stuff running in Target and Walmart. You mean to tell me that a $10 pack, even if Walmart boosts the price to $13, $13 that you went buy a pack of different hands for your figures?
Right.
You lying.
Again, independent toy companies can do stuff that the big corporations aren't going to go for. But how many people, no matter what your main, line to collect is, no matter what your, what IP you stand for, how many people wouldn't want hand packs, especially like fucking hand and arm signals? That shit is brilliant. Fucking brilliant. And this guy absolutely has a point. Okay. So they're $10 here. If Hasbro did them, and let's say they got up to 30. I mean, if Hasbro did them, they'd probably be fucking 25. Can we at least be honest about that? Once you put the Hasbro stamp on anything, the cost at least fucking goes up by 50%. At least. And that's being very generous. But yeah, if they were 13, 15, 20 bucks at your fucking, big box retailers who don't give a fuck about your toys, by the way, people would go fucking ape shit over these. They would sell like fucking hotcakes. But no. And then speaking of the weapons, Ryan says, I'm fine with futuristic space weapons, but a massive tuning fork, no thanks. Yeah, the fucking hair straightener was just too much. It was a bridge too far, right? They swung for the bleachers, and that was a no. 100% no. Is it a legal thing Bobby doesn't tell you the name of the weapons on the gear packs? Yeah. I believe so to a degree. Yeah, there you go. Nailed it. Monster Force also cost $40. Nope. Like, I get it. People want 1/12 scale fucking Red Shadows figures where you got to buy 3 and interchange parts to make the actual Red Shadows because they get around the fucking, the legalities of it. But I got the 4-inch Crimson Moon figures. I got all of them. I got multiples of them, and I waited fucking forever to get them. And they were just okay. They were just okay. They weren't fucking phenomenal or anything like that. When you wait so long that you forgot that you ordered something, fuck all that. Ladies and gentlemen, Danae from Tough Nerd Toys is here. What's up? Let me give you a big, slow clap for Danae from Tough Nerd Toys. We got a lot of fucking YouTube royalty in here today. What do you know? And then Nico says some of those Monster Force paint apps are gnarly. And again, all this boils down to personal observations, opinions, and things like that. What we should always strive to not do, right, is be an echo chamber or shit on this or shit on that because of, Bobby or because of Bill at Fresh Monkey Fiction or because of this dude at that company, right? I mean, at the end of the day, they're all putting out product. Fucking vote with your wallet. If you want it, get it. If you don't. This is more about like the brand loyalty and the fucking tribalism and all that shit, like the weird hills that people want to die on. Monster Force doesn't have more paint. Is that worth $13 per figure? Maybe. Yeah. See, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not surprised they cut back on their paint apps, right? I mean, now they're a part of Big Bad Workshop, and it's all about that bottom line. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm scrolling through the chat. Fucking Shockwave and Ryan are just yucking it up. East Coast Cody, where's the female hand pack at? Hey, I don't know. this isn't a video about fucking what's available from Valaverse, right? I'm trying to fucking get somewhere with this guy's shit. Here we go. Stop it. You stop it. Leave me alone.
I don't want to hear it, guys. I don't want to hear it. Hasbro is basically doing the bare minimum, but they're charging you the maximum price they can. Like I said, this is not a Valaverse Glaze video. I just happened to notice this, and it was like, yo, this is a comparison that I would like to make. I'd like to bring it to the people. Hey, you know what? We get better when we demand better. You know that? You know, if you start speaking up and you start saying stuff, especially all those glazers that's in the live stream for Hasbro live streams, all those glazers, it's new. Those guys, yeah, those guys who hit all those fire emojis in the chat on everything that they show, like everything that they bring out is gold. Those guys. If we start demanding better, and folks are like, oh, how do we demand better? Bro, you have their customer service number.
But he does have a valid point. If companies don't receive or don't listen to that constructive criticism, right? These are the threads that we're tying together. We talked about constructive criticism. Somebody brought up retro blasting. We used that example. If the constructive criticism is ignored, is purposefully, hid from those corporate eyes, if it just gets batted aside, how are you going to improve anything? And that's not just toys. It's everything in life. The fucking Ford Pinto. If Ford didn't want to hear that they were fucking exploding, they would have never addressed it. The self-driving cars that were fucking driving themselves into and off of things, right? It's not going to get addressed. It's not going to get fixed. It's not going to become better the way that these things can and have been better in the past. If the constructive criticism is ignored or it's just brushed off as like, oh, well, they don't like our brand or they don't like our intellectual property, so they're just being biased. Nah. But Figures of Action Reviews brings up a very valid point. When you watch those insufferable fucking Hasbro QVC live stream, Murder Dog -2. When you watch those insufferable live streams and it's all the fucking tribalists like, yes, fire. Hey, take that out of here. Sorry. Sorry. Dogs, right? And they just give me. Yep, they will. They're not going to hear the constructive criticism because it's drowned out by all the tribalists and all the fucking bullshit. Yes, my doggos do have opinions. 100%. Lord of Brooklyn's going to report me to Chris Cox. Tell Emily I said, what's up? What's up? Tell BMAC he needs to make a fucking headhunter stormtrooper. If he's got half of a fucking sack of nuts, he would make a headhunter stormtrooper. Because that is the ultimate G.I. Joe army builder. Fight me. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna get off of this real quick. I don't know if it. Yeah, no, it doesn't do that. Hold on. Give me just a second. I gotta add something else. The last thing that I want to fucking talk about. The last thing. Yeah. I want to know how all of you feel about this announcement. I have my opinions, but they're just my opinions. I want to know what all of you think. Yeah, squeaky fur missile. So they have these giant fucking peacock things, and these are in their asses, and then they rip these out of the asses, and then they run around fucking squeaking them left and right. So that I just wanted to talk about this, maybe look at a couple of comments. Obviously, you can see my comment right fucking there. Ooh, I cleared 2,000 followers on Instagram. What the fuck? Awesome. I haven't looked at it in a hot minute. Look, ever since I ripped the fucking Band-Aid off, my Instagram has been blowing the fuck up. Yeah, so there's my comment. Where's a damn Transformer Joe, Mobat Prime, and Hound Vamp? How about that? Bueller? Yeah. That was my fucking comment. So cool. Snake Eyes can bang Laura. It's Laura, not Laura. Thank you, Mr. Vance. I appreciate that. Damn, Matt's at 2,700. Awesome. But remember, I had to start over from zero thanks to Viper Island. Me, Laser Pants, Chaz the Guru, we all had to start over from fucking zero. And that was what, like a year and a half ago? So, yeah. No. Hey! Sorry. I appreciate it, but this is kind of the last thing I wanted to talk about with everybody. With all of the characters that they've been stringing along a lot, you know, the OG 13 is the most obvious, but a lot of the teams that haven't been completed, sub teams, things like that, not even the Dreadnoks until that Thunder Machine has lab. Everybody knows is coming. Tomb Raider. Does Lara, not Laura, does Lara Croft need to join G.I. Joe? Yeah, she better have pixelated boobs. That's all I'm saying. See, Jesse says, I'm a Tomb Raider fan, so kind of digging this, to be honest. And that's like, does it translate? I'm not saying it doesn't translate. Not at all. Like, Jim Largo kept talking about Adventure Team. I could see an argument where Lara Croft is in the spirit of some Adventure Team shit. I could see that. Yeah, look at that. See? Right there. Machine Man. Easy introduction to Adventure Team. She needs to have swappable chests for, 32-bit boobs. Fucking 128-bit boobs. I don't know. John says, thanks for the good time, Chad. You always make me feel beautiful. Oh, I'm glad you do. And never make me feel like the cheap slut that I am. What the fuck is that?
It's science, people! Science!
Holy Moses. 49er Brian says, I hope her holsters stay on her legs, though. I don't know. But anyway, let's just look at a couple of comments, right? So you always test the water, sort of the litmus tests of where people's heads are at with an intellectual property by just scrolling through some comments, right? You guys all saw mine, right? This guy says, no one asked for this. What the fuck? And then some of the comments are all, it's almost like not everything is meant to appeal to you, right? Because you can't buck the brand loyalty. And again, this is just social media 101, right? But this guy says, yeah, it's a reach. And then this person, Fat Boy Art, I don't know why he would call an action figure a figurine. That's a little suspect, but literally everyone has wanted new Tomb Raider figurines. Literally. No. Never start an argument with literally. And then somebody bitching about the logo. And then this chick is like, fucking screaming for this. I want it so bad. Okay. This one kind of, this piqued my interest with the chick magnet handle Wampa 1, for those of you who have, right, your Kevin Smith movies. I've been saying for a while that when Classified starts running out of repaints, not characters that haven't been produced in the Classified line, repaints, He specifically says repaints. Okay. So, Flash can just go fuck himself, right? They need to tap into crossover IP. Why? I'd love to see the Predator crew or Rowdy Roddy Piper from They Live. World War II heroes like Easy Company. Randy Sugart from Black Hawk Down. I mean, these are the people. These are the people right here. Bobby Vance says, I'm a fan of Tomb Raider, even made an O-ring version. Yeah, and it was fucking awesome. The crossover stuff is played out with these companies. Lara isn't military. No, she is not. She is not. In the first movie, Lara was former British SAS. No. The first Jolie movie, she was not Special Air Service. 100% no. Yeah, Jim Largo says Danger Girl over Tomb Raider. Somebody get J. Scott Campbell. I believe there's a comment like that on here. But this is the kind of stuff, right? This is like a peek through the window of some of these people's thoughts on what G.I. Joe Classified is as an intellectual property. We're not concerned about G.I. Joe characters. We're not concerned about Energon Universe G.I. Joe characters that are the hottest G.I. Joe thing in fucking decades. We want the Delta operators from Predator. We want characters from They Live. What's it like? Fucking Carpenter's gonna go for that. They want real life fucking people. Speaking of Memorial Day, right? From Black Hawk Down. Okay. And then this person, I don't know if this is Pogue toy collectors. I don't know. Maybe Pogue, like other classified toy pages or Pogues. Just saying Resident Evil for the next collaboration would be peak. Now we want to pull fucking stars from Resident Evil into G.I. Joe Classified. Now remember, we watched the video. What that guy in the video talked about with all these fucking stands on these Hasbro live streams, like, oh, yes, queen, fucking fire, everything's amazing. Same shit. Now do Resident Evil. Now do They Live. Now do fucking Predator. Now do this. And it just keeps going and going and going. Just saying it will never happen because Capcom aren't letting anyone use the license for 6 blah, 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 blah. Hasbro is much larger company and has a history with Capcom. See, like you can't fucking say anything about Hasbro. But did you forget Hasbro is making blah, 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 right? Huh? Wait one. Be right back. I need to put you guys on a quick timeout. I'm sorry, I'm back. Anywho, yeah, this is unexpected. Excited for this. Now we need Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil again, right? Not G.I. Joe characters. Now we need Hideo Kojima fucking characters. We need Metal Gear. We need Resident Evil. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Come on, classified series. Fingers crossed. Like, see, Metal Gear next. Resident Evil. But look at this guy. Oh, couple of brain cells to rub together. That's cool. Hope we get some classified Energon universe. But then it just says Energon mask. What's mask without the vehicles, though? I don't. I mean, they did Cover Girl with no Wolverine, so who the fuck knows? Let's talk amongst ourselves. What? I got a family. I got stuff too, motherfuckers. And then can we get a release date for Legacy of Atlantis? I don't give a flip about G.I. frickin' Joe. Okay. Well, yeah. So Tomb Raider did post it as well. I can understand that, but yeah. Classified Lara, yes, please. Another franchise that would be great and classified is Mask. Does this person even know that fucking Mask is in Energon? That Mask had been in Joe before? Probably not. Probably not. Not with that fucking comment. Right. Yeah. I'm just saying. Probably is unaware of Revolution or Unit E or any of that stuff. Oh, hey, there's my comment. Where'd the fucking comments go? That's weird. They went up, they went down. They're duplicated. I don't know. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to fucking share that with you guys. Just a little. It's just as bad on the Facebook page. So it is what it is. Air Raiders. Wait a second. I don't know. Michael says we need Flash Grand Slam any other Joes before this, but this is Hasbro's way of a great idea. I mean, look at the Ninja Turtle Joe crossovers. Ryan's here. He and I fucking talked about that how long ago, and people were like, you guys are fucking crazy. You're on drugs. Really? It fucking happened. Where's the Energon stuff? Where's the rest of the fucking Transformer Joe collabs that had product numbers? They had product numbers. Can't say they do anymore because that whole thing just went silent. When that happens, corporations are going to corporate. That usually means they just kind of fucking sweep it under the rug and let it go. HTC says, full disclosure, I am unreasonably fanatical about that line. Are you talking about Air Raiders? When do we get Starcom? It's, dude, see yourself the fuck out of here. That's not the point. We don't need Starcom and fucking G.I. Joe. You don't need G.I. Joe to be the fucking catch-all for everybody else's bullshit. It's its own intellectual property. Candyman, Energon stuff will be here by 2028 when all the hype is gone. That's the fucking point I keep bringing up. It will. When all the fucking hype is gone and it's just another thing, you know, it's just another everyday fucking thing, Energon universe would sell out. I'm telling you. For the 60th anniversary, they should have done a fucking 12-inch figure, a 6-inch figure, and a fucking 3 3/4-inch O-ring figure. That's what they should have done. Boom, boom, boom. That's the legacy of fucking G.I. Joe. Give everybody some fucking love. They should do Gem and the Holograms in classified, right, Chad? Right, Chad? Right, Chad? Shh. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But again, Gem and the Holograms is Gem and the Holograms. Air Raiders is Air Raiders. Starcom is Starcom. Cops and Crooks. Here's the thing about Cops, though. Written by Larry Hama. One of them is a descendant of Beachhead. But again, it's too far in the future. Yeah. Son of GTO says, Chad, I just went on Amazon. They're getting the turtle fly that comes with a Roadblock Raphael that has a Wild Bill hat. What the hell is this? I'll show you what the hell it is. You're talking about this right here. Right? That shit. Yeah. April O'Neil fucking Scarlet. You talking about this turtle fly right there? That so this let me take your comment off here. This vehicle right here, I mean, that's pretty much the classified vamp. How do you think people are going to feel if it like is the mold or whatever, or it, you know, easily fits a 6-inch figure and it's much less than the classified Awe Striker? How do you think people would feel about that? You think they'd feel a little shitty, a little duped, like the Cobra Flight Pod, and then the Python Patrol one comes out and it's fucking cheaper? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I love people to get stuff that they're jazzed about, that they're into, that they want, but at the same time, I'm so glad that I don't give a fuck about most of this stuff. Because then I can absolutely look at it objectively and just be like, meh, don't care, don't want it. Yeah, Gem is truly outrageous. Oh god, here we go. The fucking Misfits as Dreadnoks. That's all we need, right? More Dreadnoks. No. Dreadnoks are fucking dumb. I don't fucking. No, they're not. Oh god, and then we need Glenn Danzig and the fucking Inhumanoids. Cold Slither needs fucking groupies. No. And see, in a way, I'm trying to search for the words that I really want to use. We're all human. We can all be hypocritical at times. In my head canon, Transformers, Joe, the crossovers have always been there. So when the collabs were coming out, I'm like, yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's fucking peanut butter and jelly, right? Megaforce is a sub team of G.I. Joe in my head canon. I made a bunch of custom 4-inch Metal Gear figures. I mean, Foxhound, the turned terrorist Foxhound from Metal Gear Solid. They're with my Cobra figures, and Solid Snake and Meryl are with my fucking Joe figures. John Wick's in there. I don't know. But when we talk about like mainline stuff, there are so many characters that people love from their childhoods that they want to see. But you get Lara Croft. And it's not just Lara Croft. Like all these people are like, oh, well, it needs to be this and Resident Evil, and let me get some Metal Gear, and let me get this, and let me get that. And No Flag Point says, as a Gridiron Studios loyalist, I get my lion's share of flack. Are you really? Are you a loyalist of Gridiron Studios? I only know of one other, and it's only because he's a fucking shill. But I've never met a no shit Gridiron Studios loyalist. I just know of one shill because he gets free shit. So, Suka says it's almost a direct copy of the Real American Hero Ostriker. I understand, like as far as like aesthetics, but it's larger. So, John Garrett says I dropped $250 for all of these on Target this morning. Right on, man. I hope they're good. I mean, if you're all about them, that's fucking cool. Shockwave says, I don't care what people care about what I don't care about. Yeah, exactly, right? But here's the thing. Turn that around. Why are there so many people who care about what you don't? You know what I mean? Like, you don't give a shit. You don't give a shit what other people like. I don't either. But there are a lot of people who they're really concerned about what you don't like. It's kind of fucking weird. Suka says they're for 4.3 and 4.5 inch figures. Well, shit. Maybe I need one. Because it looks like it would kind of jive with my fucking Eco Warriors Ostriker. Just saying. Cooter wants 1/18 scale Inhumanoids with mech suits. I would get behind that. New classified sub team. Average Joes, middle-aged, overweight supply clerks with PT belts. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. And then Hoss says, we all like toys, right? Yeah, we all like toys. But again, part of the trappings of tribalism and brand loyalty and all that stuff is when people start caring more about why you don't like a thing versus why they're excited for a thing. Like these fucking Turtle Joes or GI Ninja Turtles. I don't care about them one way or the other. But people who are like, oh, hey, I bought them. Right on. Cool. I mean, that's how it should be, right? Shockwave says, yeah, it's odd. I'm not in your way of joy. Yeah, right. I mean, you're not here to be a fucking joy thief of other people. It's just like, hey, that's cool. Whatever. Yeah, see, look at Slade. I bought these TMNT Joes for my sons. Right on. Cool. I fucking hate the Ninja Turtles. I always have. I fucking, except for like the original Eastman and Laird. I can't stand the fucking Ninja Turtles. Never could. But you know what? I don't care who likes them. That's how it should be, right? I love my country. A lot of people don't like that I love my country. Like, gives a fuck. This is stupid. Hal says the only classified crossover I want is G.I. Joe and Bionic 6. Okay. I'm just saying, can we get the fucking Transformer Joe collabs that were supposed to come out? Can we at least have those before we start announcing every other fucking apples and oranges crossover thing in the fucking world? I don't know. Who cares? Let's there's a couple of starred things I got to get through. Mother Slug renewed his channel membership. Thank you so very much, Mother Slug. The chat holes are better off with you. Thank you for being here. Keys Collects, channel member for 9 months, uses his Chad chat. Thank you, my dude. And says, looking a bit cooler this year at DFW. Cooler like awesome or cooler like not as hot? Either way, this year is definitely bigger than last year. Vendors, companies that are there, guests. Next year, too. Next year's going to be fucking awesome. We're going to have Matt LaCroix from LaCroix's Toys coming out. He's making the jump to DFW. And we're going to get Bobby Vance from Lone Wolf Toys. We're going to be like, come on, Bobby. Come on. Come on. You need to come with Matt. Yeah. Thank you for using your Chad chat. Keys Collects. James Lucas. Awesome, dude. Channel member for 24 months, uses his chat and says, I'm loyal to Jay and a certain Harry Joe fan. Full Force? Him? Fucking Terry Ruin from Island Viper? I don't know. Who is it? Which one? I don't know. Thank you, James. HGC channel member for 25 months since fucking day one. Here's my non-echo chamber point. Screwhead is better than Psykill. I appreciate that. What about Tank? Is it like Screwhead, Psykill, anybody else? Or you're just saying Screwhead is better, like generically, than Psykill? I like Tank. I really like Tank. Did you guys see that fucking custom Tank hiss that I made? It was fun. It was really awesome. Fucking Piss Tank is the worst G.I. Joe.
Community, and community.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about echo chamber? Piss Tank is fucking shit. James Lucas said, yeah, scrubby looking nerf. Oh, so me? Oh, well, thanks. I don't know. I don't need people to be loyal to me. I just want people to enjoy what we're doing around these parts. And when I mean we, I mean me and all of fucking you. Because it wasn't for all of you, I wouldn't be here. Yeah, I mean that's it. HGC says Tank is an absolute unit. I fucking love Tank, man. Can you guys see my? There's original, the OG. There's Psykill. There's Copter right there. Mm-hmm. Right there on the shelves. Oh shit! Shockwave. Let me give it some of this.
Wolverines. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. HGC says, I'm here for the cultures. What cultures? Toy collecting culture? I just fucked my beard up. Sorry. I do that a lot. See, I know what you guys are doing. I know what you're doing. Hell yeah. No, I like Turbo too. I like a ton of the fucking GoBots. Ton of them. It's just this Psykill is just, I don't know. You gotta have a good villain, right? Because your line, your story, your intellectual property is only as good as your villain, right? Megatron, Mum-Ra, Cobra Commander, or Serpentor or Destro, you know, whatever your fucking flavor is. Gotta have good villains. Darth Vader. That's why Kylo Ren was fucking bullshit. Dude, you don't have enough of a beard to be fucked up. Are you beard shaming me? Are you? Fucking beard shaming me? Content creators are the only fans of action figures. Ugh, fucking. I just can't fucking do it. I can't do it. 100%. Bobby says Detroit to Dallas. We can talk. Yeah, dude, we'll work it out. Trust me, we'll fucking work it out. The insensitive scuba is a classic. That's not scuba, that's shilly.
Chad, why are you so insensitive?
That's that bitch. You know, the funny thing is, it used to be a joke. Just a joke, right? Because he dressed up like that for a Halloween stream and I had him do it so I could make a clip out of it. Fast forward like 2 years and I have a bunch of those fucking weirdo dress up fucking like this. This is what fucking like lives and breathes by what I fucking talk about.
Chad, why are you so insensitive?
Uh-huh. It's fucking ridiculous. Anywho, Toys of Gotham. It's either Bush Wookie or take your meds. You gotta pick one. Haven't I played them both already? I have. I've played them both. I played them both already. Scuba's one of the fucking best dudes out there. 100% one of the fucking best dudes. Like this level. Jeffy says you don't have to pick one at all. I already did. It's, you know, whatever. It's too late. So I love you all. Thank you guys for hanging out today. And again, this wasn't just we're just gonna fucking shit on brand loyalty, right? It was kind of to talk about where some ways that brand loyalty can be good for you, right? The mom and pop shops where you get your comics, the brick and mortar toy stores that know your name and know the shit that you're into, things like that. My Vans slip-ons, whatever. The Squatch soap that I use because I like the heavy grit. That's the only soap I'm going to use. You know, the ma'am knows if she goes to the fucking store and I say, get me my soap, if she comes home with Irish Spring, and I want that shit, right? Because I like the brand of this. I don't like the brand of that. Right? Bush snot lips. Bush Wookie G.I. Joe classified when. I bet you somebody could make a custom of that. James Lucas says, thanks, Chad, for making Sundays great again. You know what, my dude? Thank you for making Sunday great. Thank all of you for making Sunday great. It's squatching time. I'm just saying, big fan, Dr. Squatch. I love you all. Please enjoy your Memorial Day. Remember what Memorial Day is for, right? It's for the 1.3 million people who served in the armed forces. From the day our nation was started, with the shots fired at Lexington and Concord, through to today, and the 1,000 service members that lost their lives in the past year. Enjoy your freedom. Enjoy your Monday. I will see all of you either in person at DFW next weekend or here on the fucking idiot box, one way or the other. If you're coming to DFW, come see me. I got some stickers and shit for you. Come to the swap. We'll hang out. It'll be a good time. If not, I will see all of you here. Same Chad time, same Chad channel next Sunday. Enjoy yourselves and fucking see you out with some screaming and shit. You guys ready for this? You very fucking ready? Here we go. Love you. Bye.
Just checking in. Have you drank water today? Did you eat? Did you take your meds?
I bet you didn't think it was going to happen. Fuck you. I'm still getting through all the good night messages. Just hold up. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Bye.